Welcome to another episode of the Fins Tailgate. I am your host, El Capitan, Chris Adams. Guys, this is Patriots week. It's the last game of the year. It didn't come out how we would hoped it would as being the last game of the year. It kind of sucks that this is a game, but it's not all for naught. There is things to root for. I watched a lot of my boys out there on the other podcast and creators world. We'll get to it. Shout outs to everybody out there. I'll be dropping a link in here once we get rolling. So if you are watching and you want to get in, you want to tell us your thoughts, don't worry, dog. This is the tailgate party that never stops. Everyone will get their voice heard around here as long as we can, be civilized. So, but first, guys, kind of a somber note, and I mentioned this in a Twitter post I had on Twitter. It's a little bit towards mental illnesses and help and stuff. It's kind of what we're about around here in the Fins Tailgate. And make no bones about it, guys. We do betting shows. Brandon the bookie's coming in right after I do this monologue real quick. We're all about sports. We're all about partying. We're all about having a great time. But Dolphins Johnny on Twitter, he tagged me in a post, and a guy back in my hometown had passed from a drug overdose. And listen, this is all too common, guys. We all understand and substance abuse has touched most of our lives in some ways more than others, and in some ways worse than others. And if it hasn't touched your life, count yourself very blessed, because it is definitely an epidemic, to say the least, in America. But a kid named Hayden Callahan, he passed away far too young. He was a nice kid. Dolphin Johnny, I told you I'd give him a shout out. Please, guys, down in the banners, I got a number scrolling down here. It is a mental health number and substance abuse number. If you guys feel that you need some help, you can call a number. My email is always scrolling in the bottom, guys. You can reach out to me. You can holler at me. You can holler at Mike on the mic. You can holler at Brandon the bookie. We are on social media. Me and my guys are about helping. This is what the Fins Tailgate's about. It's about inclusion. It's about being heard. It's about having a place to let your hair down and get a little crunk. And you know what? Sometimes we're Dolphins fans, so we got tough skins. Because if you ain't tough by this point as a Dolphins fan, you ain't a real Dolphins fan. Because the last 20, and I'll take that back, because there's plenty of you that haven't been around for the 20 years of suck. But for us that have, be easy. Newer Dolphin fans on us older Dolphin fans, we are thick-skinned Floridian crazy people most of the time. And we love all of our Dolphin fans, so excuse the craziness that comes out of us at times. We are going to do everything in our power to make sure we don't upset people, and that we will have no hate tolerated around here. El Capitan don't fuck around. All right. Don't try with no hate nonsense, guys. I ain't going to play that, but there'll be some name calling. I ain't going to lie, but as long as it's in good taste and good fun, we're allowed to get loose around here. That's what the tailgate party's about. I defy you to go to a stadium and not have these conversations that we're having around here. So get in on the conversation. We're going to have a good time. We're going to talk about some good stuff. I got some stats. Brandon the bookie's got some nonsense. Mike on the mic's got some nonsense. Some of the other boys might be coming in. Tonk said he's got a little bit of a doctor's thing, but he might come swinging through. So we're going to be open. I'm going to drop a link here in a few seconds, bring the boys in, and Brandon the bookie, Mike on the mic. What's good?
What up?
What's up, man?
Yeah. So what'd you think of that monologue? Wasn't bad, right, guys? I kind of nailed what I was trying to do, right? So I felt good about it. Dolphin Johnny, holler at your boy, man. Tag me in good shit like that, brother. I have the hashtags, and I will reach out in the right ways, man. Holler at your boy. But all right, guys. Listen, we had some comments. Some of the guys were waiting. We got Lakers all day hanging in the comment section. What's up, Lakers all day? And Color, man, he's here. Color commentary here every time, boy. What's good, Colory? And our guys over at Go Time Dolphins, Kadeem and Charlie, holla. What's going on, guys? Love the show, guys. Make sure to check out Kadeem and them. they're on Twitter too. Great guys, turned me on to this whole game as far as giving me a voice. It's kind of what we do around here. You learn, you share. We want people to be here to have fun, man. That's what this is about. So, and Court Sonic's on here.
Every time there's a comment about your purple jacket.
Oh, listen, this purple jacket, bro.
It's fire, bro.
It's mine, bro. Listen, I have, as you can see, it's not really sized like I want it, so I will be updating the jacket as time goes on. This jacket the purple shall always remain. Make that be known, because purple's kind of the whole thing with the royal purple that, we got royalty running around here. We're going to use it. It's a kind of I don't know. I kind of like it. I don't know why. It's just what I went to in the beginning. But I'm going to do something. I have an idea where I'm going to get like a nice orange shirt and a tie to go with it. And I'm going to put the liner inside here, like Dolphins liner and stuff like that. And I'm going to figure out some way in the back to give it like tails. I might even get a badass top hat. I don't know, bro. I'll figure it out, man. It is Joker's. And you guys will see I got something planned for a bit with the whole Joker action and stuff like that as it comes around. So, well, guys, I did watch some videos, a little bit about the team. Didn't watch too many of the player interviews like I usually do. I usually like to go and break down quarter by quarter of the game and go over the film, but I tried a little bit, and I went over with TD Fins Talk over on TD Fins Talk. Dougley Durong was there. Shout out to the guys, man. Make sure to give them a like and subscribe if you guys aren't watching. I don't know how that's possible. If you guys are watching me, there ain't no way you ain't watching them. But
there's not much to go over for last week.
That was so ugly, bro.
Final whistle.
Dude, we spent four days talking about last week's game.
That's right, and I didn't want to break down the film, man. I just couldn't do it. I thought to myself about doing it yesterday.
The ones that you just burn. You just burn, dude, I gotta move on.
Yeah,
but this isn't something you could burn, because if that was the case, we wouldn't be looking towards a different quarterback. That performance was bad enough to lose your job, and that's kind of the problem.
I don't think that one game had much to do
with
Tua.
it.
Yeah, I think we already knew. Look, they've been looking since it felt like the moment that they drafted him. They looked at upgrading, which makes no sense that they would do that. Don't even take him, but if you didn't believe. But I don't think last week's performance had much to do if he's going to be here or not. But that's just
I agree with you. I don't necessarily want to get back into it, but I just think last week's game just showed a lot of the flaws that this team has, a lot of the holes that we definitely need to address. And Cordis, it's the Fins tailgate.
Cordis Tonic
Cordis Tonic.
Yeah, on YouTube. You got to get on YouTube over here. Yep.
But
the
we
Fins
just butchered your name a ton. But that game just showed everything that we need to fix. We got to get left tackle, just depth. We need left tackle, left guard.
Iconic.
Court's iconic. Got it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is cool, because I butchered it bad.
My dyslexia takes over, bro. I can't read that.
I think it just showed that basically when you go against playoff teams and teams that you think are going to make runs in the playoffs, there's just a gap between them and us. And I mean, when we play the lower tier teams, we do enough to win. But
I mean,
there's levels, man. Brandon, we're just not there.
I wrote down a little bit of a stat of the top 5 wide receivers, and the one thing they all got in common is top upper tier quarterbacks, other than one. Number one in the league is Cooper Kupp. He has 1,800 plus yards. There's Justin Jefferson, 1,500. Devontae Adams, which is only got 1,498, so he's pretty much got 1,500. Jamar Chase, we've seen. Jamar Chase has got a couple of 200-yard games.
He has a chance to break.
He's going to shatter the rookie record here directly. And then Deebo Samuel, which, guess what? They win this weekend. It looks like they're going to the playoffs too. Jimmy G was saying some stuff about the webbing of his fingers hurt and stuff like that, but there was some speculation. I watched a little bit of Colin Cowherd too. And he was saying some stuff about Tua, and that's why I clicked on the video. But in the beginning, they were saying stuff about Jimmy G and stuff like that because they're talking about him being open on the quarterback market. Not that I want Jimmy G. Make that very clear.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's a pass.
Yeah, no, it's a
I think we
pass.
all
But I
agree with you
mean,
on
bro, I mean, are we? There's talk about Baker Mayfield being on here. There's talk about Kirk Cousins being on it, Deshaun Watson, Wilson, and Rodgers. I mean, when the hell? Like, this is the worst time ever to sell a quarterback like Tua. Like, what the hell could we get for something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I still don't
think about it. All those names that you're naming.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and all the names you're naming, they're basically being cast away. They're not forcing their way out. It's the same as Tua. We look at all those, the Cousins, the Jimmy G's, the Bakers, and we're saying pass. I mean, that's what other non-Dolphin fans are thinking when you bring up Tua. They're like, nah, we'll pass. I mean, that's the truth of it. And
I just don't think he has much value.
It's a throwaway.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
I don't think he doesn't. Maybe a third, maybe a third, and then probably a fifth.
Maybe because he's still on the first round pick.
Well, Brandon, there's been speculation. Contract. There's been speculation on Twitter that the Dolphins are arrogant enough to think that they could keep Tua and then get Deshaun Watson. And I was like, holy shit, I had no idea that they thought they could do something like that, bro. I was like, whoa, bro. Like they think that they're that arrogant. I know, right? Ironically, watch all color's good, man. You good, brother.
Hey, Courts, I think you're right too, man. We do need an elite back, but I think we can survive without an elite back because I think, and that's one of the things I want to look forward to this weekend is Philip Lindsay, see if he can actually get back to some close to the form he was before the injury. But we need the running game is a big deal, but I think you can get by with mid-tier running backs with a good offensive line and a good quarterback. But the quarterback is the biggest thing. Yeah, Tony, put the link in the chat.
It always will be.
El Capitan, you got Tony wanting to jump in, and I think
got you, brother. I got you, brother.
Too, so, but and Ricky Williams all day long. I would love to have another running back like him.
I mean, listen, you get a running back like Ricky, and that that fixes a lot.
They don't breed them very often.
Yeah, bro, come on. You know what? I want a Derrick Henry. How about that? We're wishing for everything. Give me Aaron Rodgers, Derrick Henry, and Devontae Adams with Justin Jefferson. Let's make our all Madden team. Speaking of Madden, guys, with that segue, we are giving away a free Madden on the show for all of you that have been watching the Finn's Tailgate Show network that we have put together. If you would have caught Brandon the Bookie's show earlier in the week with Big Kev and Oz stopped by, they had a code name last night. Mike or was it last night, Mike?
Wednesday night.
Yeah. But you repeated it last night. You released the name that you had, and I have the third name for you guys. And mine's right here.
I was about to say, you can't find it. Just show him.
Mine's right here. I've got Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson's the third name, guys. So if you guys if you have the first two names, and now you have Bo Jackson, put it in the comments. If you don't have them, you've now been aware that these are the three names, and you can go back, find these videos, and put it in a comment section. I will get to it as soon as I find it, and you win. So if not, and this contest will continue. Every other week, we will restart the Madden contest, and we will release 3 new names and figure out who's going to put this together, because the way I envision it is maybe not everybody needs the Madden, but the person that does this really wants that Madden. And so I'm happy to give it to someone.
Hey, they dedicated. They just like us. That's why they're winning it, because they watch us all the time. Hey,
that's great, but there's plenty of people.
I need that last comment posted.
I got you, brother.
And I want to ask Brandon, what you think about him, because I'll tell you my opinion in a second.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat? I broke up for a
second. You got to read it out for Brandon. He can't see it. He can't see it on his phone.
What do you think about?
Yeah, I can't see it.
Courts Iconic brings up Bijan Robinson from Texas. I just want to know your thoughts on him, because I got my opinion about him.
Yeah, I know you're a little closer to it than anybody. I like it. I mean, he seems like he's got the NFL build. He's got some speed. He's, you can definitely see him working in the league. I just don't know how much of a top tier game changing back he'll be at that level. But would he be better than anything we have on the roster today? Yes. So
Okay, and Courts Iconic also asked if if he's going to go too high in the draft for the Dolphins. My heart hopes to and prays that that's the pick that we actually get to take a running back high in the draft. But here's my deal on Bijan Robinson. The reason I love him is because my dad is not a Longhorn fan. My dad is a diehard Gator fan, but he recognizes talent, and he also, because I'm his son, he's going to watch Longhorns a little bit more. But he says he's one of the closest people as far as planting his foot, making a cut, and he's back to full speed like Barry Sanders used to do. And that's coming from my dad. That's not my words. He says that he's able to cut, get into his break, and he's full speed right off the bat. And dude, I watched him going through the hole, and I think it was I don't remember what, it might have been Iowa State, but he went through the hole, and these two guys had a beat on him. It was perfect lining, and he did one little step, and they ended up tackling each other, and he just went right by him and just ended up taking it for a 30-yard gain. And this guy if for some reason he would end up on the Dolphins, my dream would come true. But I'm going to be watching this kid for a long, long time. He is something special. His center of gravity is real low. He's got perfect balance. I mean,
he's got the perfect build for a running back.
Yep, I like it. And then
he reminds me of CJ2K.
What's up, Tony, buddy? Thanks for coming back, man.
He
reminds me of CJ2K.
Okay. Courts Iconic. He says, what about Travion Henderson from Ohio State? And I'll get to him in a second. And then he also says, Mike on the mic is dead correct. This boy Robinson has got the moves and the brutal speed and the brutal hitting down. So Travion Henderson, I honestly, I'm so used to Ohio State running backs, just they're going to be good. But Travion Henderson looks like he might have something different. He might be an Ezekiel Elliott type, maybe a little in between Ezekiel Elliott and J.K. Dobbins, right inside there. But Travion Henderson, he looks good. He's got speed. He's got this power. He's stiff on people all season. And then Courts Iconic says, yeah, man, Bijan Robinson is 6 foot, 220 pounds. He needs to bulk up just a little. And yeah, dude, he gets a little bit bigger. 6 foot, 230, 240. That'd be ideal, but you don't want to lose too much of that speed and agility.
Yeah.
But what do you think about Travion, Brandon?
Like I said, in this class of running backs, I'm not going to say that it's a bad class. There's definite talent coming out just like every year. You're going to have 4 or 5. There's not really a generational, to me personally. I don't see like a generational can't miss prospect. But if some of these guys go in the right system, could they find a lot of success early on in their careers? Yeah. Yes. And I think the key with running backs is you kind of have to, if you take a guy high and you believe in him, you really have to maximize what you're going to get out of him in his first 4 years, because you just don't know what you're going to get after that. Yeah. The clock is ticking. And my thing is, if we're going to do running back, which I think that we've totally neglected our running game for years, and we got exactly what we've invested into it, which is nothing. But if you're going to invest in it, we have to get this line right. And honestly, the Dolphins just have not given you a lot of confidence in that, and that they can get that right.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Cap for Life brings up Kenneth Walker. That dude plays every snap for Michigan
Cap?
State.
Hop in, Cap, if you want, brother.
Kenneth Walker is an absolute every down back. My dad raves about him at Michigan State. And then Courts Iconic also says, do you think those two guys? So I think actual Travion Henderson and Bijan Robinson both are going back. I think, I'm not sure. But I know Bijan Robinson for sure is coming back for one more year at Texas, because he ended it on a sour note. And I think he might go into the season as a Heisman favorite, to be honest with you. But Travion Henderson, it'll be between Bryce Young and of course,
I was about to say Bryce Young's still coming back, but
yeah. But Bijan was up there until Bijan got hurt. He was right there. The numbers he was putting up. I was putting a long one, so I sound a little biased.
I have a question for you guys. Actually, what's your opinion on Zach Charbonnet from UCLA?
Doesn't jump on my radar. He's one of the guys that I have on my list of guys to watch before the draft, but I haven't.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't watch Pac-12. I've got a lot of it. I can't give you a real breakdown on it.
Or Damian Pierce from Florida. How about Damian Pierce from Florida?
Once again, I don't want to sound biased, but I think in the right system, he could be very well. And I mean, he graded out as the #1 back in all of college football. It's just Dan Mullen just did not feed him the rock nearly enough. But
That's
I
why
mean,
he's not
since
there
his
anymore.
yeah, exactly. But since his freshman season, I remember him coming on and breaking off 70-yard runs against Tennessee, and I mean, you were just like, I mean, he almost looked like a little bow-legged freaking, bowling ball going down the sideline, and you're like, okay, I see something. But maybe that he didn't get a lot of run in college, especially this year. Maybe he'll have a little extra tread on the tires. But even as good as I think he is, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know if we're talking top 5 running back in the league over the course of his career at any point.
Actually,
But
the guy I like is Devontae Price from Florida International.
Okay, I'll put him on my list right now, actually. I've got a list of about 50 to 60 guys I'm going to be watching before the draft, do a little top 100 from the Fins tailgate. Court's Iconic, he says his sleeper running back's Isaiah Spiller out of Texas A&M. He's actually on my list as one of the running backs to watch as well.
who was
of course,
it, Spiller?
Isaiah Spiller at A&M.
Yeah.
I mean, he playing at SEC, they turn out running backs like the mint turns out money. But and then Roadrunner, he jumped in and said,
Isn't his
Dolphins.
concern injuries, though, with a little bit of Spiller? I mean, he kind of gets banged up a little bit.
Isn't he CJ's brother, right?
No, that's his nephew.
No.
That's CJ's
Yeah.
Nephew. Okay, nephew.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew there was some sort of family relation there, but I couldn't remember. But
Yeah.
and Court's Iconic, he gives you props, Tony. He says it's actually a good choice. Didn't even think about him.
My underrated back actually is Hassan Haskins from Michigan.
I it's been a long time since we've had a Michigan running back kind of do it in the NFL, in my opinion. I honestly, I got to go back to 04, 05 since the Michigan running backs really. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I haven't seen a Michigan running back worth it. Not a 3-down back, but that's just my personal opinion.
Brandon, do you actually think?
Yeah.
Let's say we don't re-sign Mike, which I think is a possibility. Do you think we draft another tight end?
Well, first of all, they're going to franchise him. It's cheaper for the team. I think the number on him is just a hair over $10 million a year. He's looking for some receiver money. He's going to want to be in the $14-15 million range, but it makes more sense for them to franchise. They are going to franchise tag him. It's cheaper. They get another year to evaluate, which I don't understand what more they need to evaluate, but that's going to be their excuse.
Kohler,
And
I'm giving you a hint. Sorry, Kohler, I'm giving you a hint.
Code word?
No, it's one of the. Sorry, he said he can't. It was hard to hear the name that I gave out on my show, and he said he can't spell it. Of course, he can't spell it. I don't think I could spell it. But
I couldn't spell it either. Don't.
No way.
No.
Hey, Kohler, just type all 3 of them in, and you'll win, bro. The game will be yours. We'll get all your information after the show, and we'll purchase the code for whatever system you have and send it on out for you. Man. Brandon, I want to jump on to, I'm not trying to transition too hard, but I want to go to this Patriots Dolphins game. I want to start with this. There's only 3 things I'm looking forward to in this game. Jalen Waddle breaking the record.
Yeah.
Sweeping the Patriots. And I want to see the defense hungry. I want to see the defense come out and Tua Tagovailoa. He said Tua Tagovailoa making flower or something like that.
Yeah, right.
So I want to see the defense come out, and I want to see him. I want to see Jalen Phillips get about 65% of the snaps, maybe 70% of the snaps, because we're not playing for anything. Who cares if he's suspect on the early downs? Get him in there and let him play. He wants to get better at it. He knows he needs to get better at it. I want Javon Holland to just finish with a bang. I want to see 1 interception, and I want to see him rock somebody's lights. And
I would like to see it, but I don't need to see any more out of Holland. I know the boy.
No, I don't either. I just want to. I just love Holland.
Yeah.
I just want to see him.
Yeah,
I just want to see him finish on a big note, But Jalen Phillips, I really want to see what he can do playing. He's only been playing about 54% of the snaps on defense, and I really want to see him get to that 65-70%. Because if he gets to that, I just want to see the production he can. He's going to get bigger. He's going to get better. I get that, but he's had such a slow start. If he could have a really good game, maybe a sack and a half or 2 tackles for loss or just some pressures. I mean, he ends up having one of the best rookie seasons since Olivier Vernon as far as the Miami Dolphins go and a defensive end. So I'm really excited to see what he can do. But
he's already had a better career than Charles Harris did for us. So that's good.
Screw Charles Harris. But yeah, right. But what are your things? Are you looking forward to anything for this game?
I mean, honestly, there's some things to look at. I had a question. I mean, I really want to ask it to everybody and see what everybody's feelings is. I mean, look, I know a lot of people say there's not a lot to play for here, but look, it's the NFL. Everybody knows every game you go out, you have game film on you. And, in all honesty, you're either trying to get a new contract with your team or you're auditioning for somebody else. And I think, look, if Tua has a good game, let's just say he puts up 320 and 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. Does that change anybody's feelings on him?
Not really.
And Court's iconic. Right as you were saying that, he commented, I just want Tua to have a solid game and help me change my mind about him. But my question about that is, if he has that game, Brandon, that game, I posted this earlier on Twitter. I feel like it's a lose-lose, because if he has a bad game, the two-and-ons are gonna talk about the lack of offensive line. It's gonna be the same argument we've had. But if he has a great game, the two-and-ons are going to come out and go harder at us, because you're like, so you really just want to get rid of him? Look what you just did against the Patriots last game of the season, blah, blah, blah. So I think we're in a lose-lose. I think he just needs to go out there and be mediocre and just not lose the game for us. Go out there, put up a mediocre stat line. Don't move the needle one way or the other, because I don't need to see anything else from Tua. My mind's made.
Well, I've heard people say if he has a good game, it's a good last taste in the mouth, and it maybe will help his stock go up as far as a trade value. But I mean, in all honesty, look, NFL personnel, scouts, GMs, everybody, they're not going to just go back to the Patriots game week 18 and make a decision on him if it's really, really good or if it's really bad. I mean, look, he's got enough game film now, not to say, what he is now is what he'll always be. He'll never get any better, because I think that's foolish. I think even me as a Tua doubter is not said he's hit his absolute ceiling. I mean, that's crazy to say. I just don't think his ceiling is high enough for us, to do anything.
So let me get. Go ahead. I was gonna say, let me get to these 3 comments, and then you can finish it up, and then I'm gonna get Tony's opinion. But Daniel Taylor says New England always has a hard time in Miami, and I think we covered that last night with my Bullet Bob, talking about
we did on the betting show too.
Yeah, just the last game of the season. If it's in Miami, notoriously, I'll pull up the stats and I'll have that show, or I'll send out a small link to everybody that follows the show to just kind of name the stats for the last game being in Miami when New England has something to play for. I mean, notorious, the orange jerseys taking out Brady at the end of the year when they were playing for a 1 seed. Like, just so many times when they've been in Miami, it's been over. And then Court's Iconic says, he really needs to see Tua go upper 400 with 68 running and 3 touchdowns in order to change his mind. And then he says, listen, Bill Belichick is going to throw the kitchen sink at Tua. If he can overcome that, then maybe. Daniel Taylor said, I think we need still there for Watson. I like what he is not the quarterback he likes Tua, but he is not the quarterback we need. And then what up, EM? Appreciate you chiming in, bro. The link's up there. If you can find it, it's up there in the comments a little higher. Jump in, man. We'll get you on, let you jump in. But so Tony, what are you looking forward to for this game this weekend?
I'm so I just want to win. That's all I want. I'm not looking for anything specific. Just need a win. That's all I want.
I agree. Since it definitely doesn't affect our draft status at all, since we don't own the pick. I mean, yes, would it be nice to win? And hey, anybody can talk all the shit they want about us missing the playoffs. Hey, Patriots fan can't say shit to us this year. We swept them. So, if we could do that, at least that gives us something there.
So Brandon, I have a question for you.
Okay,
hey, Kohler just won it. Hey, hang on real quick. Kohler just won the Madden.
Kohler just won the Madden.
You are the MVP, Bubba. And that's close to the name, right? You got so close, the S needs to be a Z, and you would have been perfect, my man.
Bro, you're in there, Kohler. You need to.
Hey, good job, dude.
Dirk Nowitzki?
Yeah, Nowitzki, yes, sir.
Yep.
So it was Darren's
so
go ahead with your question.
Hold on just a second. Kohler, in the scrolling in the bottom is the email. It's the Fins Tailgate at Gmail. Get with me, and I will have that game sent with you, and we'll be in contact. We've already sent out hats. I've already sent out cards. We follow through, man. So don't worry. You got that game. It's yours, brother. Thank you for playing the game, man. And stay tuned, guys. There'll be more cool stuff given away. Free Madden. Boom shakalaka right there.
Yeah.
So,
hey, what up, John? Thanks for joining us, Bubba. And then Courts Iconic says, that's awesome. I'm glad he won that. Man, that's so cool. Let's play again.
yeah. We're going to play a new
Hey,
game next time. Listen, guys, just real quick, just to show you guys, I got some hats I'll be giving away. And Ennis Campbell, he got the first hat. He actually got a hat looks just like this. So I got hats given away. I got cards that we give away around here. Pretty good ones too. We'll get into more of that later.
I got golf balls from some really. I got some golf balls from some.
Nobody
really
wants your dirty golf
courses.
balls, bro.
No. They're from they're from Ireland, courses overseas and stuff. But Courts Iconic.
Where's the cowboy hat?
Yeah, y'all gonna let my man ask his question? He's been waiting.
Yeah,
go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Tony, what's your question, my man?
Oh yeah, it's for Brandon the bookie specifically. Actually, I was looking at I was watching ESPN and they had the money line and the point spread, and it says the Dolphins are. Should I trust it when they say the Dolphins are 6.5 point underdog, or that point spread is a BS? They're just giving
because the Dolphins are at home, man. That's kind of a 9-point swing if you think about it, Brandon.
Well, yes, but I was gonna say all right. So in all honesty, there's a little bit of recency bias with the spread. In all honesty, this game should have been about a 3.5 point spread for this game. We should have been about 3 to 3.5 point. If you look 2 weeks ago before we played the Titans, the look ahead line was, I believe, 3.5 points on this game. Now we lost, and we lost in ugly fashion, and and the Patriots have had some impressive performances lately. That's why we've got a 6.5 spread. But this is a hard week. This is a really hard week to handicap, unless you've got two teams battling for jockeying for positions in the playoffs and really have a lot to play for. Sometimes, like I said, these guys are going out there and trying, but there is a little bit of motivation. And sometimes when it gets to third and fourth quarters, you start seeing a little bit more of the arm tackles. You start seeing the guys that don't go and jump on top of piles, and that. I'm not going to say they're not trying.
You're talking about the team quitting, Brandon? Is that what you're saying?
It happens throughout the league. It's business decisions.
Whatever. Business. You want to get fired?
My recommendation is really, if you like playing this week and you want to play some games, I recommend playing some first half lines.
So I got a question about. I'm gonna ask you that. They got 12 people questionable going into this game on Sunday. The Patriots do. So if the games play out and you,
Mike, before you get to that injury report, because I do want to get to that. We've kind of free-formed it a little bit, and I had to step out for a second at the beginning, guys, because I told everyone I'd be live at 9:30. I do want to actually get a real Patriots Dolphins preview. I have notes, so let's just
keep talking about
let's get this train back on the rails, bro. Real quick, to go back on what you guys were talking about what you want to see in this game as far as a win and stuff like that. First of all, we always want to win. I want to see them beat the Patriots. I want to see them sweep the Patriots. I want to see. Look, I was watching, what's it called? The Roundtable. TD Finstock had the Roundtable, and Stephen D did the Roundtable this week for TD Finstock. Shout out Stephen D, bro. I'm gonna call you tomorrow. Still have some talking to do with my boys, but we're gonna chat. Anyhow, they've got the guys over there. What's it called? Master of Puppets or something. I don't know.
Master at work, that clown.
Yeah. Master Bader Puppets or something. I can't remember what he said, but
interesting.
He says, he's
Let's see
listen,
your
and I get
history,
it.
boy.
Let's see it. He also got, that guy Dan for the Buffalo Bills and Richie and stuff for the Jets, and they kind of got in on Steven, which listen, nobody likes Dolphins. We know, guys. We've been hated before. It ain't our first rodeo. We've been hated. We don't mind, having that. But they did say something on there. We want it to be a big game and stuff like that. And I was looking at it, and DDW, I watched his a little bit, and he actually got a good stat that this will be the first time we'll have winning back-to-back seasons. 2000 and 2001. And, really what I was getting about for the roundtable is that, they kind of threw a stat out. Oh, that Flo's stats and wins are the same as Adam Gase. And I'm like, well, dude, you can't. And Adam Gase had a playoff berth or whatever. And I'm like, you can't use that statistic when the first year of the coach's staff, we exploded the entire. It was an explosion of not a teardown, Brandon. Let's get real. We've seen teardowns in the NFL. No one tore shit down the way the Dolphins did in 2019.
No, that was my argument.
I know that, brother. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but we can't even call it a teardown. We got to call it a nuclear warhead to a team that no one has the nuts to do. And other teams try to act like they do, but no one did it the way the Dolphins did. So, don't try to measure Adam Gase's stats on me from afar. Patriots and other people. I've seen it on Twitter. I've seen it, but it's the same as Adam Gase. Don't get out my face with that Adam Gase, dog. Don't play with me on that shit, dog.
The biggest difference is like I said, a lot of stuff is. Look, everybody loves stats. I enjoy stats. Everybody enjoys them, but I enjoy a lot of what I do with gambling too. Is you can't take out the eyeball test, the gut feel, and when you look at this team, you do not hear the locker room leaks that we've had. You don't hear the guys that are pissed off at the coaches, guys that get left behind for a road trip.
There's a lot of
players fighting
crazy happening this last week, and I
he
don't like
better
that.
Control of the team, and they like him more.
Listen, Brandon, and I make no bones. I look at Flo, and I can see kind of a guy that's maybe at times difficult, especially with the media. But I don't give a shit about being difficult with the media. I care how the players respond, and they seem to have. Bro, we haven't seen them falter on their coach, and at times they have, acted like it was faltering on the coach. So I don't want to play with that nonsense. So I'll get to my reasons.
John, hang on real quick. John, scroll back up.
Yeah, hop in, brother. Hop in. Oh, let me drop a new link for you, buddy. Let me go ahead and get that there. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Capitan.
No. No problem, brother. I appreciate the heads up. I should have.
I don't need that Sicilian mafia coming after me.
Yeah, that's the other side of the family, dog. It's the other side of the family. So anyhow, guys, I'm interested to see if Waddle can break this record. I want to see that happen. I would like for Tua to go out on a high note in a way to the season where he hits the game we've been wanting to see. We want to see him hit 300 plus yards and 3 touchdowns. Because honestly, I want Tua to have a big game. Because I want his trade value to go as high as I can get him on the market. Just listen, man. We need him on the trade value market to go up, brother.
I don't think it's going to affect it much.
I know that, bro. I know that.
No, but I also have a question. I have a question.
Here's Dolphin Johnny jumping in.
What up, dude?
What up?
Nice to
Look,
see
he
you,
got
brother.
a hat too. He ain't the only cowboy around there, boy. Watch out, 6 shooters.
But real quick,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I was the Courts Iconic. That's my gamer tag when I get on Twitch. What I was watching you guys on, that's what I stream on my games and stuff like that. And I saw that's a Resistol, right?
Yeah.
So I saw your Resistol. I figured I'd put mine on too.
Go ahead.
You guys got the same Resistol hat.
Chris, I just want to ask you one thing on the topic you were just talking about. And Kohler's, he says Jasicki's the root of the descent. I guarantee it. But so if Tua has a big game, but Pat obviously didn't care about the game, what does it matter?
The only thing that will upset me in this game is if Waddle does not get the record. That's the only thing that will upset me on this game. Well, and it's not because that means much, but if he does not get 3 catches in this game,
Brandon, Waddle gets 5 catches and we get the doors blown out on us. That ain't gonna be good for nobody, bro. This team better fight hard. This team better fight hard because if they fall apart and give up on Flo, now there's another narrative being written. Now you think Tua throwing 300 yards and 5 touchdowns is a narrative? No, you get this team quit on Flo. There's a narrative we do not need in the Dolphins. So I expect us to give Listen, I'll never not pick the Dolphins to win. It's against my nature. If I'm betting, it's only on the Dolphins. I can't bet against my team. I can't do it. Never have, never will. I don't take bets with them usually unless I'm putting money on them.
I just stopped drafting them in fantasy.
Well, listen, that used to not be the case because you could draft a guy here and there in fantasy with the Dolphins. And the fact, and I said this, I forget when, but when we do trade that and that we are getting people on our team on fantasy, now we're heading in the right direction. If we still have this coach with this defense and this defensive scheme that he likes to run that I have seen, bro, we still hit the shit out of quarterbacks. We're number 1 and number 2 in QB hits and blitzes, and it's effective when it works in a game plan. What you need is a backup plan, and that's a guy with a cannon of an arm that can launch it 65 yards to pull you out of there.
Johnny, look like you got some good thoughts. What you want to say, Bubba?
It's not happening this year, guys, or this next season. We're not going to get rid of Tua. I'm afraid to tell you guys that we're not going to go in for a quarterback out of the draft. We're not going to get Rodgers. We're not going to get Deshaun Watson. We're going to stay with the team. But what's going to happen is if it blows up one more time, it's an all new coaching system, all new coaches and everything. They're just going to start. They're going to do it all over again. But this time, if they are, because they are going to keep Tua, they're not going to get rid of him. I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
Bank on it.
So you're telling me it's going to be a Tannehill 2.0 situation where
it's not. Tannehill Tannehill spent six seasons with us.
Yeah, and
guess what? Different offensive coordinators.
That's exactly right. Is my point is that we fired Philbin. We fired Philbin. We got rid of Philbin. And then we brought in Adam Gase. So then, listen, Dolphin Johnny, if that's going to happen, that would happen kind of now because Harbaugh's available. Harbaugh's available.
Hey, Black Monday's coming. Monday, you're going to see coaches going off the top. It may not be us, but I'm saying Monday is when all these movements are going to happen. If it's going to happen, if they've chosen Tua over Flo and his staff, then everything's going to start happening on Monday.
I mean, look, here's the problem with that scenario, Dolphin Johnny, is that I can't think of an offensive coordinator or offensive weapons that I could purchase to help Tua be a better quarterback for the Dolphins as I seen this year on film. And that's Brady. Brady. We're just gonna go buy Brady from Tampa. We're just gonna go, hey Tampa, let me just take him. Why would he come here?
The assistant offensive coordinator, Brady, fucking not Tom Brady.
He's talking about Joe Brady. Joe Brady.
Yeah, but okay, Joe Brady.
Listen, he's definitely the last recognized Brady. When you talk about that Brady, you have to say.
I don't say Brady often, man, but I figured. Yeah, I'm not talking about Tom.
There's 100 Jordans out there, but when you say Jordan, you're only talking about one. So that's I don't know, man. As far as Joe Brady goes,
I like him.
I mean, he's young, he's smart, but I don't know if that. Look, we're talking about the Tannehill 2.0 type thing. If we keep changing offensive coordinators, and that may end up being Flores' downfall.
You got a point.
Not being able to get the staff, but that's what we did with Tannehill. He had a new coordinator every year.
Yeah, so right. And also it wasn't just the coordinator; it was the excuses. It was the coordinator, and then it was the coach. Then it's the GM. I don't want to do this musical chairs for trying to build around a guy. It's the O-line. It's this. To hell with that, bro. We've been always looking at what we really want. What we really want is a Dan Marino
quarterback.
It's a Dan Marino. It's a guy that's so good at his job that we can. And listen. If Derrick Henry was a free agent this year, I'd be like, hell yeah, go get him for Tua. Now we're good. If I don't know, I can't even think. It would be different because usually you buy a guy that's great.
Would be nice.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor would be nice, or like even
if only we took him over Igbenogany, huh? Igbenogany seemed like the pick. Oh, everybody was dying to get Igbenogany.
You know, we
just stole him.
On
what about Kyle Pitts crap this year? Kyle Pitts has
it. He's actually about to break the rookie record for tight ends.
Yeah.
Okay. In Pittsburgh, a rookie record for tight ends is nothing.
He's not in
Pittsburgh. He's in Atlanta. But no, he's about to break the NFL record. He's about to break the NFL record for rookies. But I do got a question. In a fantasy world, and you could have your pick, Brandon. Are you taking Eric Bieniemy, Kellen Moore, or Joe Brady?
Well, Bieniemy. I mean, okay, so we're talking about I get any pick, not which one would come here or not come here.
In a fantasy land, I want to know. I'm trying to pick your style of offense.
Yeah.
So in a fantasy land, you got those three guys. Who you taking?
What was it? Bieniemy.
Eric Bieniemy, Kellen Moore, or Joe Brady?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Oh man,
probably I would take Joe Brady because I think he's the furthest away from getting a head coaching job.
So does he fix
So you would have a chance at having him for a couple of years before he moves on.
Does he fix Tua?
What's that?
At least Tua.
Yeah, I mean, if we found an offensive coordinator that happened to be a doctor and could put a bionic arm and hip in the kid, then yeah, he could fix him. But if he doubled as that, then yes, that would be the right fix for us.
I would enjoy that. Sign me up for that. My hip hurts right now.
Usually when you talk about fixing a quarterback, you're trying to get their eyes right. You're trying to get their feet right. You're trying to get them to read defenses.
Says it right there, Brandon, what you're saying. Watson is already scrambling outside pocket. You get that fixed the O-line. It's only 2 seconds. So what? A guy like that makes plays on his legs.
Hey, I'm going to plug something really quick. Kohler, on my next Drop the Mic, I'm going to do a whole show about Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, and Kirk Cousins, and I'm going to break down every single one of them for y'all, and I'm going to show you everything I think, and I'll give you my pick who I want at the end after I've showed you everything. So,
I like that. Little teaser
hey, Lakers
there. I like
all day.
that. Drop the mic.
Hey,
What's up, Lakers all day? Get in on
man?
it, brother.
What's up, man? What's up, y'all? I just want to say, man, I love y'all hats y'all got on, man. I need one, man. I need a hat just like that.
Hey, my dad lives in Justin, Texas, which is home of the Justin outlet, the original Justin boots, everything. So, man, we could probably work something out for real. But hey, is that Kobe in your picture? Because that's the only reason I like you.
Yes, sir. It's Kobe.
I'm just kidding. I like you anyways. But
that's awesome. I love Kobe too, man. Nobody fought like that, man.
He made my Mavericks look silly, but in my opinion, he's a top 3 player of all time.
See, you know what?
Yeah, he was my Jordan. I'm too young to really appreciate
100%.
Jordan.
Yeah,
but Kobe was my era.
There was only 2 killer instincts that I've ever seen. I got to see a little bit of Jordan. I got to see Kobe. Those are the 2 killer instincts other than Larry Bird. That's what makes those 3 the greatest for me, is because when they wanted to put you to sleep, they put you to sleep, and they didn't let you get up. And then Jordan, he never went to a Game 7 in the finals until somebody goes to 6 finals in a row, doesn't lose, and wins them. And then I don't even care if they go to a Game 7, cool. But Jordan he put you to sleep before you ever woke up from your nap, and I love it.
Yeah, there was no stopping Jordan when he was going, and the closest I've ever seen someone do it was Kobe. Where he would
81
go,
against Toronto.
He would go in a game and he'd say, "Game over. I'm taking this bitch over." And that's what we've seen out of Dan Marino, and that's what we hope to find in a quarterback this offseason, guys, because it is not something we want to be questioning. Listen, I hoped for it for Tua, and in some ways I can see that in his eye. Like, okay, and I said this on God, I can't remember what show it was, but I was on one of the other guys' shows. Shout out to everybody who's been having us on, and shout out to everybody in the comment sections. Make sure to like the show, guys. Make sure to subscribe.
Larry the Big Bird.
Tell your friends. Tell your friends. But we were looking at Tua in his interview when he was all pissed, dude. He looked pissed as hell. Like, look at that look in his eye, and I was like, damn, I wish he had that look in his eye on the field last Sunday.
Because, bro, great.
That's what I want. I want an intense, cut your throat. That's why and the guys and Mike's gonna have his pick on his show and he'll do a great breakdown. I can't wait. But for me and my money, if I was GM, I would say not to hell with Watson, because I understand this team's young, and as many as pieces that it would take to get Watson and draft picks, it'd still be a young team. So long-term building for a team that's gonna win a lot of championships, I'm all down for a Watson.
But you want an instant championship.
But I want a championship now.
Yeah.
And if I can get that Aaron Rodgers with Devontae Adams,
it's a package deal.
Everything else is the rest of this shit. The rest of the shit gonna figure it out, brother. Because I promise you, he's not gonna move from franchise to franchise in the ghost and shadow and old footsteps of Tom Brady to not win that team
So
a championship.
he can save his career. He can save his career like Peyton did and go to
First
another
of all,
team
not
and
save
win
his
another
career, bro,
championship. No.
but he can-
But I'm saying like he can change the
superstardom
narrative.
it.
You know, he's only got one Super Bowl or one championship. It's been forever since he got that championship. He hasn't been back. And then what I'm getting at is that Peyton had that one championship. Then he went to Denver, won another one, and then the narrative stopped. Nobody was like, oh, well, he only has one championship. He's still considered up there with Tom Brady now because he went somewhere else and he got that second championship. I just think it's going to take Rodgers getting that second championship to solidify his place as a top maybe 10 quarterback of all time, top 5 quarterback of all time at the end of the day.
I'll say he's got to be in the 5 range.
Yeah,
bro, it's definitely a
I
guy
think even
that
today
we'll be
with just the
watching for
one.
the rest of our lives be measured up to with the talent he put in the friggin' shit. What about you, Lakers all day, man? What's the guy, your dream scenario if they move on for Tua? And Lakers all day, is it Tua that you want to stay with?
No, me. I want Watson. I always wanted Watson.
Same.
You know, my dad, he's a big Dolphin. He's a big Dolphin, and he wanted Herbert because like he told me that the Dolphins should have gotten Herbert. They should never gotten Tua. You know, and plus he wasn't even thinking about the injury. He just said that from his play in college. He said that Tua's not ready. And, he always wanted Herbert. And me, I wanted Jordan Love or Herbert.
Herbert's a beast, man. That arm is unbelievable.
He is.
And, Kohler, on that, hang on, I don't mean to cut you, Lakers. I'm going to get to this comment and get right back. But, Kohler, I promise you, I'm going to bring up an article that I found last week, and I brought it up to on one of the shows. And it's a breakdown of Miami out of nowhere. We've actually ended up coming up to the top as far as a package deal to pick up Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. And I just think it's a package deal wherever Aaron Rodgers goes. Devontae Adams is going. But I do have an article from NFL reporters talking about how Miami's a favorite to land them both. So I agree with Chris. Instant championship, Aaron Rodgers. But I'm a long game. Guys. Yeah, but I'd rather have the potential to get maybe 3 or 4. I don't know. It's a rock and a hard place. I take either one of them.
Who's to say? Listen, who's to say if we sign him for 4 years, he doesn't win 2 or 3?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers.
No. Listen, I mentioned it the other day on one of the shows we had. It's gotten to the point where we have been conditioned as Dolphins fans the past quite a few years now to where this rebuild, it's building for the futures, it's stocking money, it's stocking draft. No. The team to win and the guys who win in business, the guys who win in football, the guys who win in sports are the aggressive ones.
That's right.
You
Take
go
your
out
shot,
there. You
bro.
do not listen. Shoot your shot. Listen, if it don't work, what did you lose?
I mean,
now,
listen,
if you're stockpiling money forever and draft picks, you ain't going to win anyway, so you already lost. If you ain't won, you lost. That's the way it is. So I'm tired of looking at, we need to get a guy, and that's what everybody said. I hope we get 2, or I hope, when we got him, we're going to have a guy for 10, 15 years. I don't want to look that far. If it works out, great. Give me something. You look at a 2-3 year window. 5 is max. Yeah. You don't look at decades. I mean, look how much the game has changed 100% in just 10 years. And then go back 10 years from that.
John makes a good point, and it's kind of, similar what the Heat did with LeBron. You bring in a top flight marquee talent. Other players want to come play here, man. Because
that's why I'm saying we need Watson.
Guys come in on the
cheap. Going to see that we got Watson. They're going to want to play.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Lakers.
Yeah, look, you get a dude who you get a quarterback that guys want to come and play for, not because Deshaun may be the nicest guy or he might be an asshole, whatever. Nobody cares about that. These guys still trying to get money and get contracts, and if they've got a guy that can get them the ball and they can put up stats and get paid, they're good. They don't care.
Roadrunner says this is a big opportunity for the Dolphins. Don't F it up, and I mentioned that on a show. I think it was on another podcast. I think it was TDs, maybe. I don't know. Either way, but this is an unprecedented offseason to have the caliber of quarterbacks available that potentially could be available. It's never going to happen again. So you're right on, Roadrunner. Like Miami cannot mess this up. If they are not going to stick with Tua and they get underbid on any of the guys that they want, if they go hard after somebody and they let somebody outbid them, then they screwed up and we're right where we are right now.
Oh, bro,
if
we're in the market and have another fumble like we did on the way into this season. Now, granted, the allegations and the Deshaun Watson door closed abruptly in everyone's face on that. And I've got some conspiracy theories that we'll hash out later on. We've mentioned it on my last show a little bit about, you got to remember, guys, these are billionaires' businesses, and these guys play a different kind of game. So that's why there's a lot of good speculation we could have about this. But back to your point, Mike, Deshaun would be the long-term option. I agree, but it's just cold hard facts that if Rodgers came here, I think don't underestimate how much Rodgers would love to stick it to not just the Packers, but the NFL. Listen, we got another attractive thing for Rodgers. He's not a vaccinated player, and he's the biggest spoken non-vaccinated player at that. So if he comes here with his non-vaccination in a non-vaccination state,
John's firing shots in chat, bro. John's firing shots.
What's he got?
Nice ass massage parlors in Miami.
Listen, there's a Chinese, there's an Asian massage parlor on every strip mall here. So I'm pretty sure.
Sean Adams, I do agree with you. We definitely need to draft offensive. Well, actually, I'm going to take that back. I don't agree that we need to draft offensive linemen unless it's Linderbaum, but I definitely think we need to address it, and I think that needs to be where the majority of our money this offseason is going to be spent, is on offensive linemen. I don't think you can – there's no way going around signing at least 2, possibly 3 offensive linemen. You need a right tackle to provide depth. I think Robert Hunt proved himself. I think Dieter's going to be okay. And then you need to get depth for Austin Jackson and Eichenberg just to kind of bring them on the ropes. But if you don't shore up your offensive line, then all this talk about what QB we're going to get, Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson become the only 2 that are viable to even get us to anywhere else that we want to go as far as playoffs, because they prove they can play behind subpar offensive line play. But if we don't shore up the offensive line, then all this talk is just, it's going to be a wait and see game. Do the guys develop? Do they make progress in their second year? The Eichenberg, and does Austin Jackson take that step forward? Does Jesse Davis stop getting the quarterback period, getting cut in half? If we don't shore up the offensive line, then I don't know what the front office is doing, because it's the obvious hole that we have. We have 3 of the worst 10 offensive linemen in football. And in Kohler says we have the largest cap space going into next season. I read an article that detailed how the X restructure we did mid-season will free up even more. I think we can get all the way to 100. I actually saw Neil Driscoll tweet that if there was a bunch of stuff restructured, we could actually get Watson and still have $78 million to spend. So I think we can get right around that 100, 110.
There's quite a few players, Ethan Carter. There was about 5 or 6 players, Fedulum. There were some players that if we cut and then restructured Byron Jones, that we could get Deshaun, absorb the whole money contract of it, and still have all of our cap space. But, at this point, look, some of those guys are going to get cut anyways. Look, money's not going to be an issue. It's evaluating. That's
what I'm thinking.
It's evaluate.
I expect to buy.
Listen. We're not up against the cap and trying to make a few dollars so we can sign somebody. Money's not going to be the issue here. Mm-hmm. It's evaluating the right talent and getting them signed. And above all else is getting the right quarterback. That's it. That's all. We make it more complicated than it has to be.
I agree with that, but do you have faith in the talent evaluation for these offensive linemen? Are we gonna sign the guys that are coming off an injury, or are we gonna try and rehab an injury that didn't get he had subpar performance last year, or are we gonna actually go get good guys?
Listen, and Lakers all day. I want you to chime in on it too, but
yeah.
I expect to get in a completely different O-line coach that's going to get more juice out of the squeeze on this O-line, man. I think Jean-Pierre has fallen immensely short, and hopefully not only are they turning over the roster and buying some veterans that are well needed on this team, but hopefully they're churning over this. Listen, they've churned over this coaching roster every friggin' year. I expect more of that. Listen, this is a results business, and the O-line is 32nd in pass protection, and I think it was 28th
3 of the top 10
in run,
bottom 10.
28th in run. It is pitiful, guys.
So yeah, different spot.
Go ahead. What Lakers all day? Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, dang it. What happened?
No problem, man.
Oh, no, you're good, Bubba. We were just wondering, what do you think What do you think they're going to do? Are they going to go?
They got cap money, brother.
What
I
do
feel
you
like
think they're going to spend it on?
I feel like since we heard about our GM, you know what I'm saying, talking to Watson at the end of the trade deadline, I feel like we're gonna get Watson. I mean, you know what I'm saying, like nothing has changed. You know, I feel like we need to go. I mean, I feel like they're gonna get Watson, and then we're just gonna put the pieces around him. You know?
So do you think?
I heard that that the Panthers are willing to listen to Christian McCaffrey's offers. So I don't know what that means.
My thing with Christian McCaffrey right now is as much as I love the kid, he was used so much his first few years, and now he's getting that injury bug as a running back. You know, Brandon the bookie brought it up earlier, 4 years, and that's about the standard right now, unless you're an elite talent like Derrick Henry or even Ezekiel Elliott. He just went boom. Yeah, and so like I'm not sure I would make that move for Christian McCaffrey because I'm pretty sure they're gonna. You know, it's a business, as Chris was talking about on El Capitan was talking about on a show the other day. On the business side of things, you can sell Christian McCaffrey to any fan base, and they're going to probably pay a little bit more than I'm willing to pay. You can't sell me on Christian McCaffrey at this point. I think we got to draft a running back that can come in and learn. Personally, I want Philip Lindsay to prove that he can be a first and second down back, and then we can bring him and Duke Johnson back cheap as hell. And I think if you get both of them back with a better offensive line, that's perfect for next year. And then you go draft a running back when the class is a little bit better. I believe Travion Henderson and Bijan Robinson would be coming out in that other draft. But as far as the running back position, I don't really want to spend money or assets on that other than draft.
So you're saying that, I mean, like so you're saying that you wouldn't want to spend, but like would you want to get a running back in free agency though?
It just depends on who's available because I actually think I think everybody would like what we could have in a healthy Philip Lindsay and a healthy Duke Johnson. I think that's a 1-2 punch that can just be consistent enough to average 4.5 to 5.5 yards a carry or even just 4 to 5 yards a carry. I think that would be perfect for whatever quarterback we come in because that's the type of game if it's offensive coordinators coming in, it's maybe different, but that's the type of game we want to run is control the clock, run first, play action, whatever it may be. Obviously, we get Rodgers Watson. You can throw out everything we've seen over the last 10 years because the playbook's going to be completely different. But, hey, Cap, what up, dude?
What's happening, Cap?
Not much, man. Just got off of Twitter, man, and everybody's having a tirade, man, just trying to figure out why we're trying to, like, get Kirk Cousins involved in this conversation.
I agree. I can pass on that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to tell you.
Cap, were you here the other night when Brandon brought that conversation up?
Ever since that day, bro, it's been wildfire, man. Everybody's debating right now.
I told Beavis in the back, dude. I said, bro, you started a fire. They're like, Kirk Cousins is the backup. I'm like, damn, dog, I didn't realize it was catching fire like that.
Hey, Auto Sexy, I think you definitely drafted
that. Good to see the presence on Twitter is working. The social media department for the Fids Tailgate guys works really hard to make sure we get the brightest information. So keep your eyes peeled. Kirk Cousins might come here later. You know how it is.
That's funny.
No, it's
real quick. I wanted to go back to the free agency running back thing, and I don't know. I haven't done any research.
Who's out there?
But I'm just trying to not just who's out there, but I can't think of the last free agent running back that was signed somewhere that works. They don't work because once you reach free agency as a running back,
you're done.
You're looking for the bag.
Your team's I mean, look at and think about it. Like a Todd Gurley got his money. Like these. It's just I am more scared of that position getting him free agent more than any other position in football.
I got the list.
Is this the projected free agent? Yeah, give it to me.
Yeah, for running back, it's going to be.
Let's hear it.
Melvin Gordon, David Johnson.
Nah.
Stop me if you want to touch on him. Jalen Richard, Leonard Fournette.
I like David Johnson. Make him.
No, Leonard Fournette I might take, though. Philip Lindsay, Cordero Patterson, Raheem Mostert, Rashad Penny, James White.
Already got his ring, man. Unless he's ring chasing, he ain't going to be worth nothing.
Here's an interesting one. James Conner, he split time most of the year this year, but he's got 15 or 16 touchdowns. Yeah, and then you got Malcolm Brown, Darrell Williams. I mean, honestly, there ain't nobody on here that I would care to pick up, but I would
Patterson?
like Cordero Patterson.
Well, are any of those?
I take a Cordell Patterson right now. I'll kick the tires on that.
Yeah, but literally think of any of those guys, or any of those guys are going to come in and make a true game-changing difference for not just our team, any team. No.
I think Leonard Fournette does. He's 27
Travis
and he's
Etienne.
going to pound the ball
Travis
now.
Etienne.
Yeah, but
Travis
he's on
Etienne?
Jacksonville. Yeah, but he's in Jacksonville.
Yeah,
he tore his
he's still on
Achilles.
his rookie
He's going to be there
contract.
for 3 more years.
Yeah.
Anthony, Lakers all day. What's good, fellas?
What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up?
Hanging in there, brother. Hanging in there.
Me too, man. Me too.
Honestly,
Okay,
I'm glad we're bringing everybody together, man.
Yeah.
For me, I don't think the way the
They're my
Dolphins
boys right there, man. My boys.
Yeah. What's good, Cat?
Honestly, my prediction in general, I think the league is moving. There's not really a lot of bell cow running backs. It seems like most of the league is moving towards the what is it called, the where it's, what's the term I'm trying to use? Like, they're not.
Anthony, how long have we been talking about that, Anthony? For months, no?
Yes, but that's
Running back by
what it
committee.
is.
Yeah,
running back by committee.
Yeah.
You're not going to see a lot of bell cow running backs. There's only 3 teams that do that, and one of them is out.
Yeah.
Because of injuries most of the time, and the guy from the Giants, I forgot his name.
Saquon.
Yeah,
and he's same thing.
Listen, if they're letting go of Saquon in New York, I'll take that. I'll kick the tires on Saquon.
Nah, he can't be healthy for
Ooh, Color says Eckler, but they ain't letting that boy go. I would love me some Eckler.
I want a new running back. It's scary as that position.
Yeah.
Because you put all the money and all your assets into it, and it goes down. That's it. You're left with nothing. I mean, listen, as much as I like to bang on the Dolphins for what they've done with this running back situation, it is a very tough, tight wire act to walk. It really is.
You want to fix the running game? Fix the offensive line. You want to fix the offensive line? Get yourself a nimble quarterback, and it all is a little trickle down from that.
Yeah,
Brandon.
and to me, the short passing game is what's actually replacing the in general.
The run, yep.
Oh yeah, we agree, Tony. I think you're right over the target, man.
Yep.
So
guys, look at Deebo Samuel starting running the ball more.
Yeah, actually, for me, I would rather have a running back that is a receiver, purely a bigger running back that's a receiver out of the backfield, maybe like a Brian Robinson from Alabama.
I like Bijan Robinson out of Texas.
Yeah, I mean, look, and I will say the way our offense, our run game's bad. Nobody's here to defend it. Yes, the O-line is not great, but this offense with the short game is never going to help a running back out, because all you're doing is keeping the safeties and all the guys even closer to the box. It's making it tougher. So until we fix it and we get a quarterback that can stretch the field and get some of these bodies out of the box and can respect that, it's going to be hard for any running back. You put Barry Sanders back there, and it's going to make it tough. I'm not saying Barry wouldn't still tear it up.
First
you know what I'm saying? Like
AR-12. AR-12. AR-12.
AR-12.
Yeah, what's an AR-12?
Yeah.
Tony, fill me in, dog.
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be the quarterback that stretches the field and makes any running back good.
Dog.
Yeah.
What's AR-12?
Aaron Rodgers. Oh, yeah, right.
Hey, which guy were you talking about earlier that you're comparing to Chris Johnson, Tony? That running back you were talking about earlier?
Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, he's a stud. Well,
really?
He's my dad, Cap. I don't know if you got to see the show last night, but my dad he's a Gator fan, but he compares Bijan Robinson to and this is the only comparison. This is where it stops, but this is the skill that he noticed was his ability to cut and then be right back at full speed. Just to make that one sudden move, and then he's right back at full speed. It doesn't take him
who's your old boy? Who's your old boy, Bob?
The only player I really remember being able to do that was special, and also as a Gator fan, was Percy Harvin. That boy could make a cut and never lose any speed, and
that was freak.
I mean, that is a special talent, but I don't know, man. I mean, is Robinson really a 4-2 guy? I mean, you're a Texas fan.
Robinson is a stud. Mark my words, he will be
is
probably
he a 4-2,
the number one running back.
4-3 guy?
Yeah, 4-3, 4-4,
so what?
4-2, 4-3. But his ability to run people over is crazy too.
Go ahead.
He's not coming out this year, Cap. He's not coming out this year. He's coming out next year. 18 right now.
Yeah.
Well,
We're waiting on San Fran to lose or
But-
win.
San Fran to finish it up.
Yeah, and
they
Bijan
play-
Robinson
So, I
won't be
mean-
out till next year.
Are we in
They play-
agreement that we
Robinson
do
doesn't
need a
have
bell cow? Are we in agreement that we finally do need a bell cow? Like we need a heavy purpose all down back?
I'm not in agreement to that because
Listen,
I think they're moving
I would have been
off
okay
of
with
Tua.
Najee.
I would have
If
loved
you
Najee
get a guy
with
that you
Tua.
can see it, yeah. If you can see a guy that is built like that, built for that. I mean, listen, Najee was the #1 overall recruit coming out of high school.
Brandon,
I mean, he had the pedigree.
Brandon, you have no idea the amount of pressure we were trying to put on the organization, bro, to try to do a Penei Sewell, Najee Harris. I mean, Tony was there, man. We had 3 first-round picks, and we couldn't parlay that into something special. I mean, yeah, we got Waddle. We got Phillips. I mean, I'm content with them. Don't get me wrong. But you're going to tell me if we would have went all in on this offense, it would have helped the defense tremendously going down the stretch with an offensive lineman and a pounding running back in December?
Yeah.
Agreed. This year, absolutely, it would have made a huge difference. But I do think this offseason and this draft
from Tua.
I'm not going to even harp on the quarterback situation because that's going to work itself out or it's not. I mean, I just think that the way that the money is going to be spent in the draft picks, it is going to be an offensive-centric offseason because, I mean, in all honesty, this defense right now is good enough that this defense alone should be in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we could have put up more than 18 points a game, we would have been there. Like, this is a defense. I mean, yeah, could you put a little more depth in certain spots, help out at linebacker here? That, yeah, of course. You can always improve positions and stuff. But this defense has enough that I'm not saying you abandon it and you don't do anything to it, but we all know this offense has got to get up there in the 27-point-a-game range with this defense.
No, you got it. You got to be 23 to 24
We're 12 to
points.
13 wins team with that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So you guys think if we have a veteran like a Tyron Armstead, actually it pushes the development of guys like Austin
Eichenberg.
Jackson, Eichenberg, and Hunt and Dieter?
Yeah, I think Hunt's actually on a hell of a trajectory. If you go look at what he's done this season, he's been money. He's done exactly what you asked him to do, and he has experience playing right tackle.
He was a stud from day one.
Listen, I've seen Hunt gets his hands right. He gets guys off their feet, bro. He gets guys off their feet and on the ass, man. That guy's
he is my absolute least of my worries on the O-line.
Yeah,
that is right. I mean, him and Eichenberg can stay.
But if we bring in a vet or two, which I think 2 is the best thing to do.
I agree.
But if you bring that in, I think a true vet on that line there every single snap helping out the young guys, I think that is going to be more beneficial to those young linemen that we actually think have some talent. But the ones that can progress in this league, I think that'll have more to do with it than if fixing the O-line coach.
Let me ask you a question.
Let me ask you a
question. And Pete, answer this too, Pete. Do you think Seattle's offensive line and any other team right now that fell short in the playoffs that are supposed to be better than us, do you think that their O-line is more equipped than ours right now? Why do you think Russell Wilson wants to leave Seattle so bad?
I think him and I'll just jump in. I think him and Pete Carroll they've run their course.
Yeah,
I just think that's more than. Yeah, I think that has more to do than an O-line or weapons. I mean, he's got Metcalf. I mean, he's got weapons. That's his issue isn't that. I just think organizationally, and I said it the other day, Tom Brady done effed up the game. He's made it now where these quarterbacks that have proven, that have won Super Bowls, like a Wilson, like a Rodgers, he showed them the brand they really are. And they look around the NBA too, and they're like, these guys get to call their own shots. Listen, these guys are signing contracts, but that's only because they tell you how much money they want to make. That ain't because you got them locked up for that many years.
No,
and other
call
teams
their agent, buy
they say I'm out,
it's all
they're
a
out.
pretend number. As Miami Heat fans, we see it's a pretend
these quarterbacks.
Number. I'm not a Heat fan,
and
but okay.
I wanted to say this.
Me either, Lakers. You good?
Mike, I wanted to say this earlier, and I didn't get the chance to say it because when you were talking about this year is unprecedented for the quarterbacks, blah blah blah. It's unprecedented because it hasn't happened. There's no precedent. I understand what you're saying with that. But this is going to be, now it's not going to be Rodgers, Wilson, and a Deshaun every year. But I think going forward in this league, these guys that are established, that have won, that says, look, I've been in this league longer than some of these offensive coordinators and, or head coaches. And you're telling me I can't pick my players, or I can't pick the offense I want to run, or, how about big middle finger, get me out of here. I'm going somewhere where they will let me.
Well,
and I think that from here on out, we're going to see that.
A lot of times.
Yeah, go ahead. That's what I wanted to get to, Pete. I wanted to get to you because I know how you feel about things. Go ahead, Pete.
Thank you. What's going on, fellas?
What's
Thank you
going
for
on, bro?
having me up. I don't have that much time, so I'm gonna make it. But to answer Cap's question, a lot of times it depends on the quarterback. Some quarterbacks know how to hide deficiencies on that offensive line. They know how to mask and create things and fix guys that, believe it or not, it's not only the Dolphins that have offensive linemen switch around and do all of that. If you look around the league and you look at the average depth of time that the quarterback has in a pocket, it averages out almost all of them equal.
Almost 2.5 to 3 seconds.
And it's all average about the same.
So second.
It's all about what the quarterback can give you at the end of the day. That's why I do believe that is the most important position on the field.
Absolutely.
Because they create a lot of the stuff that needs to happen onto the field.
That's exactly what I've been arguing for a long time is, look, once you get that special guy, it covers up the things. They learn how, look, okay, I've got a weak point in my line. It's right up the middle. Okay, go ahead, bring that pressure straight at my face. Let me check to something. And before you know it, I burned you a couple times. You can't even attack my weakness no more because I found your weakness and I exploited it. The great ones do that. The great ones do that. Because
and they got to be able to feel that in the game.
There is no perfect team anywhere in the NFL.
No.
Anywhere.
Well, but what happens if you have two weaknesses on your offensive line? What do you do then?
Two what, Tony? Two what, Tony?
Two
deficiencies on the offensive. Yeah, he was saying about if you have two deficiencies on the offensive line, but the guy like Rodgers, I'm just gonna what Brandon was touching on. A guy like Rodgers, he's able to make the adjustments and switch the running back to the other side, move the tight end over, whatever, to make up for the holes he knows he has. The great ones, they adjust to the deficiencies on the offensive line. The guys that are inexperienced, the guys that maybe just don't quite figure it out, are the ones that are susceptible to getting sacked all the time when you do have holes in the offensive line, because they just don't know how to adjust the coverage. They don't know how to adjust the tight ends and the running backs, and maybe bring in a running back.
It's not even the adjust. It's not even just adjust. Right? It's true talent, superior talent trumps.
But
everything.
Can you trust our running backs to block though? That's the problem.
Yeah.
A guy like Philip Lindsay, hell yeah.
Quarterback, duh. They're not going to just let that man, not get pummeled.
If it comes down to the point where, you got a guy like Gaskins or somebody that maybe can't hold up blocking or whatever, listen, I don't give a shit. Put Andrew Van Ginkel back there at running back and just have him stonewall people. If that's what it takes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a damn. Like, that's not going to be the thing that stops this a true great quarterback from making it work.
Real quick, guys, I had this tweet earlier, and this is why, and not that it's the only reason why, but this is one of the big things about Rodgers. Because when we talk about later, Pete, I know you had to leave, brother. Thanks for stopping in, man. I really appreciate it, Pete. Next time we'll get in, and I know Pete's awesome, guys. He's all over the joint. Pete's good in the neighborhood. But look at this tweet. Look at this tweet right here. Oh, go ahead, buddy. What's up, Tony? Go ahead. What's up?
Before you go on the tweet, for me, when I look at a guy, let's say we don't sign Gesicki, I think honestly we draft another tight end and then have what's his name? The kid from Notre Dame that we drafted. I forgot his name.
Eichenberg.
No, I'm talking about the tight end.
Smythe. Durham Smythe.
Smythe. Yeah.
Use him as an H-back, and he can be our blocker.
Listen, Smythe is versatile, guys. We've seen that today, man. But listen, real quick,
as
Brandon,
far as the Gesicki thing,
hold on, Brandon. Just hold on, bro. Like this tweet I got up here, guys. I don't know how well y'all can see it, but it basically says that Aaron Rodgers He's got 4 backups and a rookie on his O-line. He's missing one of his best wide receivers, TD leader last year, and he's playing an MVP season. And honestly, as Aaron Rodgers came out in the media, he basically goes, listen, guys, I'm getting screwed out of the MVP because of political reasons. And listen, a guy who's got the nuts to go on TV and give the middle finger to the NFL and say, hey, I'm not MVP again like I am every year, and I got screwed again because of political reasons. And then we all question, what's that?
Did y'all hear about he might not play this on the Super Bowl? I mean, if he makes it to the Super Bowl, he might not play.
Listen, I mean,
well, they're talking about moving it though. They're talking about moving it to Arlington, and if they do, boy, I'm gonna be all over that. But they're talking about moving it to Arlington because
where's
at this
Super
point,
Bowl
California. It's in California, but
LA?
At this point, California, California is not gonna. They're not gonna let fans in. At this very point, they're talking about not letting fans in. So the NFL is doing a contingency plan.
Yeah,
and right now
falling
it's the
apart.
Death Star.
Really?
Yeah. So Dallas is where Arlington is where they might be coming to play.
Bro, are you kidding me?
Listen,
Yeah,
the Super
right.
Bowl only needs to be
Florida's
the Super Bowl only needs to be held in 3 places till the end of time. It needs to be in Vegas, it needs to be in Dallas, and it needs to be in Miami, and rotate those 3 years, and that's it. I'm done with all the other ones. Nobody wants to go to New York. Nobody wants to go. Screw all of them. But I wanted to real quick get back to the. Sure. All right. Let Florida in general, except for Jacksonville, because they don't have the infrastructure to hold it. But I wanted to go back to the tight end question one more time. I've already said, look, Gesicki is going to be franchise tagged. However, I'm going to ask you, Chris, who did I want in the draft last year?
Okay, so guys, for all y'all that don't know,
who did I want number 3 overall?
Freiermuth?
No, stop. Just wait. Listen, he wanted Kyle Pitts, bro.
Yeah.
And what was my reasoning?
Because he would be the best tight end to ever play the tight end. He's a
far superior talent to Gesicki. And listen, you can play them both, and then when Gesicki
you can spread that boy out wide. Listen, I don't watch the Gators as much as Brandon is a diehard Gators. And keep an eye out, guys, because Brandon will be having a Gators show. Because he's Brandon the bookie, and we got a ragtag team of guys doing the bookie stuff. But Brandon diehard Gators, no one knows more other than his grandpa, and maybe he'll get his grandpa to come on. But yeah, when he got me watching that Kyle Pitts, I was like, damn, dude, that guy's worth a 3rd round draft pick. And as he's putting on
that's number 3 pick.
That's a superior.
Anthony, how long we were saying that for, Anthony?
No, it was a mistake for Atlanta to draft him though. They don't have an offensive line there.
They don't have a quarterback.
Daniel, hop in over at
I remember,
YouTube, buddy.
I remember at least 7 months ago, the first guy that was saying Kyle Pitts was that guy right there.
Hey, John, you the man, bro. Yeah. Tony, you the man, bro. Don't forget to like and share.
Thanks, guys.
But, Cap, my dad.
What are your guys' opinions on Watermeyer?
Yes, I think, for Texas A&M. I saw him up close and personal as a Gator fan, absolutely destroy us 2 years ago. And I didn't know much of the kid.
Is he as a freak of an athlete as Kyle, though?
No.
No, Kyle's stupid. He's transcendent.
Kyle is Derrick Henry freak. You know what I'm saying?
No,
position-wise.
Kyle Pitts, the best comparison I think I could give for him is Megatron. That's it.
Yeah.
He's
skinny
6'6".
Megatron.
He has the... No, he's not even skinny. He's exactly a clone of Megatron.
Bro, some of the catches he made this season were like Megatron. A couple of those were like Megatron. During our game, he kicked our ass like Megatron.
What's up, Tom?
He's 6'6", 240, and you know he had the largest wingspan ever recorded in combine history. Yep. His hands are fucking massive. He ran a 4.4, and he has a 40-inch vert. He's Megatron. It's just they had him playing tight end. He's stupid. Yeah. And there's a lot of good tight ends out there, but he is on a different level.
And he's the best receiver and best tight end when he steps on the field. He will be the best wide receiver and tight end on the field when he's on the field.
Listen, I told Chris last year because he doesn't watch a lot of Gator games. I watch every one. And I told him, I said, look, if you want one game to look at, go back to the Georgia game, not this season that we just had, the one that he played in his last season. I said he was the best player on that field by a mile.
Bro,
There's a great shot
freak,
where
bro.
Kirby Smart jumped up and down because he knew the ball was going to Kyle Pitts. He was double coverage, and he just mossed both guys. I mean, he one-handed catch. He can do everything, and it killed me that we did not sit at 3 and take him.
Look like they were, and that's kind of what I talked about.
That defense was loaded with NFL talent. That Georgia defense has everybody they have this year and all the guys that got drafted last year. It was a stupid defense.
Brandon, the crazy thing is you're talking. The crazy thing you're talking about Kyle Pitts, the kid that Miami just got in recruiting. They're comparing him to Kyle Pitts, to Leo Skinner. The kid.
Oh yeah, IMG. Isn't he the IMG Academy kid?
Yeah, he's nice. He's nice. I like him.
I don't know much about him because honestly, was he like the 6th rated tight end coming out of high school or something?
No, he's the number 1 tight end in the country. He's the number
one overall. Well, that was the thing. Kyle Pitts wasn't even the number 1 tight end coming out in his class.
He just had a growth spurt, and his athleticism went nuts.
He was a little raw, and he played in Pennsylvania, which is hard to evaluate talent as opposed to playing in Florida.
Tonk's a pretty good college fan and stuff like that. And as you can see by the Gators in the background, he's a pretty big Gators fan. What do you think about Kyle Pitts? I mean, did we totally whiff? Because I honestly, guys, I like the move going back. Because listen, and granted, Brandon, as I told you, that's a guy worth the 3rd round pick or third pick in the draft. But I like the move to get Waddle because I love Waddle, guys. Let's go.
I think Waddle's a game changer.
Yeah,
he's a great talent, and acquiring the
Chris
capital.
Was beating the drum for Waddle well before
I wanted
we drafted
Waddle.
Him. You wanted Waddle the whole time, and I know you did. But my argument,
we need
one more time. I just want to say it real quick, and I'll shut the hell up. But my argument when we came up to the Waddle and the Pitts thing is, I said, I think Waddle's going to be good. But the difference between where Waddle could be compared to other receivers in this league, the margin is not going to be that big. The difference between where Kyle Pitts is a tight end and can also play receiver, the difference between what he can be and the other guys in the league, the mountain could be so wide. The range could be so wide. You're going to have a guy that is a true matchup nightmare every single time.
Dude, does that sound like a Gators homer or what, bro? I mean, listen, Kyle Pitts is amazing, bro. But don't devalue Waddle like that, dude. Waddle is.
No, I'm not. Waddle is going to be great in this league.
Cap, what you got, dog? Go ahead, Cap.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, at this point, you got to think about the personnel we had set throughout the offseason. Was it more based upon 12 man, or was it based more upon spread? Are you content with Waddle, or you would have been content with a Gesicki and Pitts side by side? I mean,
that was what I was fucking calling for.
That's what Brandon
wanted. We need to keep Waddle.
We
need to get Kyle Pitts.
Personnel. Go ahead, Tom.
We need to keep Waddle. We need to get Kyle Pitts, and we need to get Joe Flacco.
What the
guys?
He's throwing that Joe Flacco bit good.
Let go,
we're
Flacco.
underestimating how good Hunter. I understand Kyle Pitts is in a whole nother level.
Hunter Long. You about to talk about Hunter Long?
But to be honest, I think we're underestimating what a superstar tight end Hunter Long can be.
I was about to say that. I've drafted him in 4 different
I gotta see more.
I think he's gonna be a stud. I think
more.
He's Rob Gronkowski, Jimmy Graham. Dude, he's gonna be good, bro. Watch.
Long? You talking about Long?
Yeah, and that's why I think Gesicki may be on the way out the door.
Good.
I think Gesicki may be on the way out the door if he doesn't, because the franchise tag, that's great, but I'd rather use it on Ogba and then take that money and use it somewhere else. Hunter Long is gonna be the guy.
I think Gesicki's a trade piece if we move on, man, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like Tua is like
he actually reminds me of Tony Gonzalez. Hunter Long reminds me of Tony Gonzalez, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, too.
If you transition tag him, that means what? Somebody has to match it with a trade offer?
Well, transition tag is I think they can match the money, but they have to give I believe it used to be a 2nd-round pick.
And now I think it's still a 2nd-round pick.
No, it's a 1st-round pick now. It's a 1st-round pick now.
It's a first now? Okay. I remember it used to be a 2nd, but beyond all that, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
no,
like
actually,
you said,
Brandon, the reason why I said it's a 1st-round pick is because they changed the rules recently. if the guy outplays his draft position and moves up. I read the transition tag recently, and it says if the guy outplays his position, the actual transition tag draft pick moves up in value actually. So Gesicki was a second round pick or a third round pick. I can't remember. He moves up to a first round pick.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You don't see a lot of transitional tags very often anymore. It's not used extremely, frequently.
Oh, it has to be. It has to be a tag. Yeah, he has to. The transition tag basically the team has the right to the first right to refusal to match any offer given to the player during free agency. If a player is given the transition tag, he can still negotiate a contract with the new team in free agency. However, if that team offers a deal, the team that tagged him can choose to match that offer. If they do so, the player must sign with his original team. If the team that tagged the player declines to match the offer, the player is free to leave and join the new team. On the other hand, if by July 22nd the player has not signed an offer sheet with another team, he can only negotiate with the team who initially applied the tag.
So there's no.
I don't see a draft pick compensation anywhere on that.
And going back to the tag of Gesicki and rather use it on Agba, I think that's the wrong call because a franchise tag is the average of the top 5 players at the position, and tight ends get paid a hell of a lot less than DNs, and I don't see Agba as a top 5 DN in this league.
Yeah, no, I think they signed
Gesicki.
Defensive end.
Yeah, defensive end. But tight end, I think Gesicki's closer to a top 5 tight end in this league than Agba is top 5 at his position.
So you're comparing it
would be a waste of money.
You're comparing it to a.
You're just talking about the use of the money, Tom.
Because he actually plays some kind of defense when he's not going after the ball.
What?
No, what he's saying is he's basically valuing the money in the world of cap. You gotta look at where you're spending. A defensive end on a second contract. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Mike, can you look up what last year's franchise tag was for a defensive end? I'm assuming it's got to be what?
Why are you
16,
comparing a tight
17?
end to a defensive?
Yeah,
because the money's significantly cheaper
I'd rather
franchise one.
Yeah, if you franchise tag a defensive end, it's going to cost you probably about $6 million
16,
more.
17, million.
It's going to cost you about $6 million more to a tight end, which is going to probably be around 10.
Why?
Because that's how they value it. It's done by position. There's not like a cap on franchise tag for NFL because then you can't cap the same amount of money for a franchise tag on a guard.
Yeah, you franchise a quarterback, it's going to cost you $38 million.
And how they do that, it's $1.5 million. Is it the top 3 or 5 in their
top
position?
5?
Top 5.
It's the average of the top 5,
and they take the average year pay. So tight ends don't make defensive end money. Go ahead.
Last year, the defensive end franchise tag was 17.7. Tight end was 10.6.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why I think Agba. I would personally sign Agba to a 3-year deal, guarantee 2 of those years.
Flacco.
To where it's basically a 2-year deal with that 3rd year being a team option, and I would just franchise Gesicki.
That's the dog.
Actually, I would draft. Actually, I would draft a younger defense. Honestly, for me, I would draft another young defensive pass rusher because this draft class is.
Yeah, it's got to happen. That's got to happen this year. I do agree. I think they're going to go after that. But like I said, it's going to be an offensive-centric draft.
Yeah. Oh, I agree too. Well,
I think pass rusher.
Our defense is deep. Our defense we have 4 to 5 defensive backs.
We do need another pass rusher.
Yeah, but I think I don't believe that because Jalen Phillips played 50% of the snaps. You get him to 65-70, pair him with Agba. You got Christian Wilkins and Raekwon Davis on that defensive line. Dude, how are you going to stop that defensive line the way they all play this year? I mean, it's going to be fun.
The difference is the difference is rotating those bodies in to where there's not much of a drop off. That's how you beat down an O-line.
You can spend $5 to $7 million on a rotational defensive player in free agency.
Moonshine.
Yeah, you got don't show that on air.
Yeah. Wait, Karlaftis is gonna be. They're saying Karlaftis is
messing with you.
It's sanitized water.
I meant sunshine.
It's for hand sanitizer.
Actually, I was reading mock drafts
for COVID
because of the end of the season and stuff like that.
All Floridians believe in COVID.
Go ahead, Tony. Sorry, buddy.
Because of the end of the season, they're already projecting They're saying that the pick for the 49ers is at 18, and we got a perfect match. Karlaftis is going to be there at 18, they said.
Dude, I watched somebody do a mock draft.
I don't look at mock drafts yet. Well, you know how it is. Every year, somebody's going to have an amazing combine. A couple guys are going to have terrible ones.
Some guy's PR team is going to put them together and get picked by a team. That's
3 weeks
Jordan.
Before the draft, you start hearing stuff, and guys fly up, guys fly down. You can't really go off of anything that you see as a mock right now.
Yeah, that's why you got to be. And guys, in the future, we're going to be putting together a panel, a couple of guys that are diehard fans of their teams. We'll be doing some draft talk. There'll be a lot of draft talk coming up. Probably going to do some kind of
top 100. The Fins tailgate.
Yeah,
top 100.
Everybody's going to put together the top 100. We're going to see similarities. Everyone's going to release it. There'll be a lot of good draft talk, man, because that's.
What would you guys give up for Bobby Wagner from Seattle?
I don't know. Bobby.
It can't be a lot.
I mean, are they looking to trade him?
He can't be a lot. He can't be a lot because Bobby Wagner's near the end of his line.
He's one of the last few that was on the Super Bowl team.
Yeah, I don't think
he's near the end of his line.
It's hypothetical, Tom. It's hypothetical.
And
Seattle
already
on the back of every. He's on the back of every.
Go ahead, Tony. Go ahead, Tony.
Go ahead, Tony.
Seattle just announced they put him on the trade block.
They did.
And really?
I just don't want to give up a lot. I just don't want to give up a lot for him.
Why?
Yeah, and I'm good with what we got.
He's been injured though.
Yeah,
and I'm good with what we got on our defense.
Look that up.
Roberts, Van Ginkel.
I'm looking at it right now. He's injured.
Who?
Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, he's been injured. He's been injured since like week 6 or 7, I thought. But
he's still out.
But I like Van Ginkel, Phillips, and Van Ginkel, Baker, and Roberts better than giving up a second or even if they ask for a third. I think that's too much for Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, but we need a guy that
I know, right?
I don't think a Landon Roberts is not a starting middle linebacker in my honest opinion.
Because that's what he does.
I agree with you. I agree he's not a starting middle linebacker. I think he's a run stopper, and I think you play him in specific running downs. But I also think you can get a middle linebacker in the draft.
Brandon, you can't see the comments right now, but Sean asks, why is Brandon the Bookie yelling at everybody, man? So yeah, he's right. Calm down, Brando.
Damn. All right.
Funny. That's quick.
My bad.
Whatever.
My bad, guys. My bad. You get all
Stop messing with Brandon, please. Stop messing with Brandon, please.
I'm sensitive,
guys.
He is sensitive. That's why. He's stuck driving around. All right, so let's try to put it a little bit into perspective. And Dolphin Johnny, thanks for coming back in, man. I watch everybody, guys. You don't do creating content on YouTube and not be aware of everyone on YouTube. How would I, know what to do or how to do it? So I watch guys like Reason and Big O even and Reason and Big O, and I mentioned them too, and I've already mentioned the other cats that I roll with, but Reason and Big O, they're very on the keep Tua side, in that they're looking at the deficiencies. So look, I don't want to ever be one-sided in anything. That's kind of how I try to make great analysis. I'm not gonna, as Brandon will tell you, I never was a Tua lover, but I wanted Tua. I would have been happy with Herbert, but I have reservations for Herbert. So when they took Tua, I understood it. I believed in what I thought they were going to build. Brandon was right about the limitations. So I don't stand in the way of a Deshaun Watson trade. If anything, I applaud it. But you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, at the same time, I like to see perspectives, and it's good to go to guys like Reason and Big O and watch them, because although they might not, I don't agree with their opinion, they are pointing out some good facts. And I did watch, I put in my Twitter, I watched Reason's breakdown and stuff like that of the film of last week, and he was pointing out stuff, but I don't want to disrespect anybody here, but man, it was weak sauce, brother. Looking at Austin Jackson on his backside, bro, you can find that every game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can find Austin Jackson on his
Jesse Davis is good for a whiff once a game too,
and a bad whiff, the one that almost gets to his spine broken half. So we can look at stuff like that. Now, the wide open passes he missed, and guys, on the run.
Dude, that was one of the ugliest passes I've seen in years. It was one of the ugliest passes I've seen in years.
No pressure.
Worse than Jay Fiedler.
Tony with shots fired.
Don't hate on my Jay. Don't hate on my Jay, man. Jay was the man back in the day.
Was he quarterback or was he a kicker?
Jay Fiedler, he was a kicker.
I don't know if he released the Kraken yet, but I didn't get to watch all of it because, like I said, man, I got to digest a lot, bro, and it takes a lot. But he then and I kid you not, guys, he used a clip from Mike Tannenbaum talking about and Omar Kelly, and he used Omar Kelly and Mike Tannenbaum pointing out that Harbaugh could be coming here and Flo could be on his way out.
I don't see any way that happens. I just don't see any way that happens, man. I really don't, because
John Harbaugh from Michigan?
I don't think Harbaugh is a fit in Miami with what we have in place. I think Harbaugh is a fit in Jacksonville. I think Harbaugh is a fit in Detroit. Not Detroit.
I like Harbaugh to Jacksonville. That sounds cool.
Where are you?
Harbaugh to Jacksonville.
I think hear him, but you don't see him.
I think that Byron Leftwich is going to be the coach in Jacksonville.
Actually, for me, I see this is the package deal. I see Jim Harbaugh and Aaron Rodgers coming as a package deal.
John Harbaugh.
No, John ain't going nowhere.
John is with the Ravens.
John is in Baltimore. Jim is in Michigan.
Jim is the other one. There's Jim and John.
Jim Harbaugh. All right. Sorry.
Yeah. You were wrong. John Harbaugh. I got a John Harbaugh football card around here somewhere, guys. When he used to play on the Colts, actually, I got a couple of them, bro. You'd be surprised.
We're talking about all these other teams, but we really need to get to this Patriots game because I'm chomping at the bit to give y'all some information. Guys.
No, we're good, man. We're rounding about, man. I don't know about you guys, but we in it, dog. We got good information. I just wanted to touch on it, and because another thing that Big O said, that he's like, we'll see the flip floppers when he throws for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns, and then fans will say he'll go. It'll be too little too late to say.
Not happening. Not happening.
That's definitely not happening. That's definitely not happening. No, of course.
That's delusional. For me, that's delusion. Honestly.
Well, that's not. He didn't say that was gonna happen, guys. Let me refrain. He basically said, "What's that, Dolphin, Johnny?"
I said that's Joe Burrow's numbers, not.
Yeah, you're right about that. That's right.
And who coached Joe Burrow? Anybody out there want to raise their hand at LSU?
Yeah,
Joe Brady.
Joe Brady.
Okay. But that's not Tom Brady, was it?
Yeah, right.
No.
I mean, that's
that wasn't the head coach.
Chris, that's like saying, people are tired wanting a new running back, but they'll be upset when Gaskin runs for 350 yards and 7 touchdowns.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I mean, is it going to happen?
Listen. Like I said, I was trying to refrain. I'm glad I got everybody heated because that's kind of the point, right? But he didn't say that. He meant like bandwagon jumpers, that there's people that if Tua puts up the performance, and they'll be like, oh, that's enough to be seen. But he's seen enough from this coaching staff and this organization that just didn't build properly around Tua. And there's not really too much to argue there. They gave him a rookie O-line coach with, a lot of young guys.
In the NFL. Go ahead.
I listen. Waddle's great, and they haven't been using him. But that's how Big O would argue this. He goes, why aren't they using Waddle?
Well, Waddle's ceiling is Tyreek Hill. I think he's Tyreek Hill 2.0.
Because Tua can't reach him.
I don't. Well, here's the thing, too.
And for me,
Mike, you got to take care of your mic, dog. You got to take care of your mic. It's inside
Sorry,
your
bro.
like,
Sorry,
you
bro.
know, your mouth.
Sorry,
or
bro.
something.
What I was saying
Chris.
Go ahead, Tony.
Well, this is where I disagree with Big O. I think
Same.
it's Brian Flores' ego that prevented us from getting a veteran O-line coach. He didn't want an alpha in the locker room. I've said this multiple times. It's the alpha personality.
Well, that's what Big O is saying, brother. That's my point. He's blaming Brian Flores' ego for bad coaching hires, for letting go of talented players we watch go to other teams like Ted Karras and what's the guy in Washington?
Ted Karras is a joke. What are you talking about?
I know that, but I'm talking about how these guys were viable that these were actual pieces that are better options than Jesse Davis and definitely better than what we've seen out of Austin Jackson. And, you know, Reason would be over on his show over there with EM and Ball Game sometimes. And listen, they give it back. They have a great debate, guys. Make sure to check them out. But, you know, they literally, I get it. It's a skewed vision. They want Tua to keep as their quarterback, and they're willing to sacrifice the coach and the GM to do it. I'm not. I think this GM's got a set on him that no one's been able to do because Brandon and I have Brandon crowed to blow this team up
For years.
He's like, blow the shit up. This is
the only
done.
way to do it.
Nothing's working. And I'm not really, I didn't want that. But once we said, yeah, we're blowing this shit up, and I was like, bet, let's blow this bitch up then. We got nothing else to lose. Blow it up. So that we did blow it up, I'm kind of good, you know, seeing what the results are outside of that very first round that we seen. And it was an ugly first round. And on TD Fins Talk, if you guys go check it out, last Sunday I was on with him and DW, Dudley Durong, DDW. We talked about it, and you know he was pretty on the target. And I heard him say this months and months ago before I ever did podcasting.
I want to go say happy birthday, John.
He said,
"Sorry, bro. Sorry."
Next game. Let's get to the next game. Let's get to the next game. What's the next game? The New England Patriots. Let's talk about.
There's not much to really go over with the game,
bro. I listen. Back what I was saying, Corey. We'll get to the New England Patriots. What was I saying, Brandon?
You're saying that you're blowing Big O and something else.
No, you were talking about CW.
Yeah, bro. No, I'm just trying to stay objective, Brandon.
Brandon's just jealous.
Am I wrong? Did I miss it?
Brandon's just jealous.
Did I miss it?
We don't need.
You might be a Gator fan, but I like you.
Hey, look, there's Peter North in there. You know who Peter North is, right?
We don't need that image in our head.
No, he doesn't. But anyhow, man, let's get with that. Cap, come in here, help me out, brother. Help me out, Cap. I know you watch Big O, dog. Tell him what I'm talking about, brother. That I'm trying to give a perspective of middle of the road where there is deficiencies in the coaching and the play calling, and that
But I mean,
ahead,
for me,
man. I think my homeboy, for the most part, my homeboy Big John, I think he's about to come up here in a little while. But Big John has a bit insight on the Big O's philosophy. But I mean, as far as what you just said right now, my phone crapped out, man. But what is it that you were getting into?
Basically, man, I'm saying that, you know, if you guys do pay attention to the Big O show, okay, so, and without getting a homoerotic like Brandon did and stuff like that, no hate.
I was the one.
Listen, you're the one just, you know, making insinuations and stuff like that. And don't let the purple jacket fool you, Brandon, you son of a bitch. So,
hey, my favorite color is purple. There ain't nothing
listen,
wrong
dog,
with
I love
there
it.
ain't nothing wrong with
What
purple.
you talking about? My whole brand got purple.
Joker jacket.
Anyhow, so.
Nobody pulled off the purple like Prince, though.
Oh, bro, listen,
ain't nobody.
I wish I
Never.
could pull off purple. But, you know, I'm just basically saying that he's not wrong. Early in the year, we did see a lot of blunders because of coaching hires, you know, bad situations. There was a huge ask. Rookie head coach, tons of rookies, shifted this line around, and veterans, which we're all crowing for right now. We're like, we need veterans because of all the reasons. We need a guy like Austin Jackson or a guy like Jesse Davis. Listen, no, Joe. A guy like Austin Jackson and Jesse David. You know, we don't need those guys coming in here and messing this team up when we could have seen more out of Tua. Big John Stud, brother, what's happening, man? I'm glad you stopped in, dog. Thanks for hopping in.
What's going on, man? They kept telling me to jump on. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going, but I'll be there.
Yeah, dog. I'll throw it in the link. We're in there. We're at the Fins tailgate. It's a tailgate party that never stops. You know, El Capitan, Mike on the mic, Brandon the Bookie, Tonk 7, and we got a couple of the usual suspects hanging with us, as you can see. What I was saying is
Tony's a new groupie.
Yeah, Tony's in this for the long haul, dude. Tony can pull out them stats like nobody's business, man. Tony, you got to come back around when we do the whatchamacallit, the draft episode.
Before you ask Big John Stud, Big John Stud, I call him.
He's got his new name.
Before, did you research that information I told you about the lawyer and Deshaun Watson? By chance?
Oh, brother, no, I didn't. But Mike, why don't you get on that lawyer information right now, man? Check on that lawyer situation.
What is he, extremely guilty?
No. Well,
listen,
was the lawyer supposedly represented Deshaun Watson before he started representing the women, or at least some of them. But back to what I was saying, Big John Stud. You know, I was watching Big O. I always watch Big O, you know, as often as I can. I try to catch up on it because, honestly, guys, he gets a lot of the beat writers on. He does a great long-term interview with guys like Omar and stuff. And, you know, afterwards, I like to watch, you know, Dono and stuff, man. I mean, listen, if you guys are on YouTube and you're absorbing this content, there's a lot of really great guys out there that have good insides. And Big John Stud, you're on. I see you on Dono all the time, man. As you know, there is a middle of the road here with this Tua situation. And granted, he's been underwhelming. And I'm not saying let's not trade for a better quarterback, especially with all the marquee quarterbacks that are apparently going to be on the market. So, but this O-line it was definitely not a good O-line to start out with. It was young. There was a lot of reaches, a lot of movement on the O-line. And a big ask with a rookie O-line coach that has been underwhelming, to say the least. He hasn't allowed time. The game scheme isn't, you know, look, there's some, and I watched on Reason too, man. He pointed out that double route rainbow that they do, it's ugly, man. So what's your thoughts on the circumstance? Because as you know, Big John Stud, we are in a shitstorm of an organization. And we'll get on to some Pat's bullshit here in a little bit.
You mean what I think about Tua, or in general, everything you brought up?
Well, Tua, essentially the topic is basically Tua versus Flo, because I don't see a circumstance where Tua stays on this team and Flores doesn't lose his job because of it, because of just the way it's been handled up to this point. And honestly, it would be an office versus a quarterback. We've seen this team get dirty before, bro.
Okay. As some people who have followed me on YouTube and some people who know me personally know, there's a lot of things that I cannot unfortunately divulge that I know about Flores, because I have people inside the Dolphin organization that contact me on a daily basis. There are people who don't like Brian Flores in the building. That is not something we don't know. The man makes enemies before he makes friends. That's just, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys knew what I know, everybody in here would be hating Flores just for the stuff he put through it too that nobody knows about. Okay? Now, I do not see a scenario where Tua's back and he's here in my immediate, from what I know. Now, I do see a scenario where they're both back if they can't find a suitable coach who wants to coach the Dolphins, because the problem is nobody wants to come down here when he's here because he's not a people person. He does not, like, if you notice, you can't we couldn't fire Flo, not because Flo's the greatest coach in the world, although I respect his leadership qualities. The problem is you're a one-trick pony. You can't teach offense. You only know defense. You get offended when they tell you that you're a defensive coach, but you haven't shown shit to be able to coach offense. At the end of the day, nobody wants to come down here because every coach he has under his regime is either a high school coach or a one-year coach. I mean, it looks like we're in kindergarten. There's Flores and there's the others. And as much as everybody wants to put the game, as much as everybody wants to put the game on Tua, and Tua was underwhelming, that defense shit the bed, bro. There's no way you're supposed to play Ryan Tannehill and you don't zero blitz him to death and make him get the ball out. We zero blitzed him 4 times.
Yeah, we did.
And those 4 times he threw 4 screen passes that got him a total of like 25 yards. Okay, and if he throws screen pass after screen pass, they don't score 35 points. They just don't.
And Brian Tannehill, as we know, he does good against the blitz in that capacity, especially with those screen passes. And it was a terrible offensive game plan to go in colder weather, wet football, throwing the ball like that, man. But I mean, bro, I didn't consider Big John Stud, and it should be Big John Guns, dog, because you came out here and shot a bazooka with the back office type of stuff. You know, I didn't consider it to myself that there is an underwhelming amount of unqualified coaches on this team, and why is that the case?
Well, that's the reason why we've had a slow start. Because I mean, if you don't want to include Flores' first season because of the rebuild, fine. But the last 2 seasons, look at his first month of the season. We get off to a slow start, 1-3 and 1-3, if I'm not mistaken. And you dig a hole, and you know he gets all the credit for getting the teams going in the middle of the season, just to fall short at the end. But we've got to. If you have better qualified coaches, we wouldn't be starting slow, right? Am I wrong there?
Let me just say 2 things, and you guys can keep talking because I didn't come on to take all your guys' time, but. I put it like this. Brian Flores, like we said, he only coaches defense, right? Now, here's the problem. If you can only coach one side of the ball on a league that is predicated on scoring, then what are we doing? First of all. Second of all, Ryan Tannehill is good at beating the blitz that Ryan Tannehill can see. But Ryan Tannehill has no pocket presence, and if you blitz him from behind, which is how we sacked him, he would be on the floor 8 times that game. You wouldn't be behind on the scoreboard because they basically scored on us via field position. People want to put the game on Tua, right? Tua started 7 of the 9 drives. I do believe there was probably 9 or 10 drives. All of them were from the 10-yard line back. He had to go 90 yards literally the whole game to score. So I mean,
that punter was inside the 5, and it was nuts. He was just every
time Tua got the ball, he had to go 90 yards. And at the end of the day, Ryan Tannehill, Tua's been sacked 15 times, 17 times the entire season with this last game. Ryan Tannehill's been sacked 48 times the entire season with a better offensive line, better receivers, and better weapons. I mean, I just think people jump on Tua because it's easy because Tua's a nice guy, right? He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to throw you under the bus. He's not going to say nothing. But Tua, if I'm not mistaken, has started about 20 games in his career, and he's won 14 of those 20 games with shit talent at every position. Every position. Receiver, nobody scares us. Will Fuller would have made a difference, dictate defensive coverage. He didn't play. Running backs, they don't scare us. Tight ends, Mike Gesicki's not a tight end. I'm sorry. I don't care what he thinks. Unless you can block, you're not a tight end.
Yeah.
You're playing every time Gesicki. Yeah, of course, because he can't block. And at the end of the day, every time Mike Gesicki lines up on the field and he's listed as a tight end, if they have another receiver and he's playing tight end,
they're showing their hand.
Yeah, exactly. You're playing 10 on 12. There's no surprise. You know it's a pass. And you're playing right into the defense's hands. So, I mean, all those things work against Tua, and people don't want to see it. Oh, he throws the ball out real quick. Oh, yeah, no shit. Jesse Davis can't block my daughter, and if anybody's seen me on YouTube, I've said it 100 times, my daughter can get around Jesse Davis and break Tua's ribs. 2 seconds to throw a football. That's insanity. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't work.
So you said he's played 20 games and won 14 of them. Did he not play all the games that they lost?
He's been injured last year, coming off the injured, and he got injured this year. Brandon,
everything Big John brought up was right. Everything Big John brought up was right.
He's definitely not wrong.
Yeah, no, I'm not questioning him. I am, but I'm just making sure.
But I love the perspective. Dolphin Johnny, go ahead, man. Let you respond.
No, real quick, I just want to say, can you put the link back up to join? I got a couple people wanting to.
Oh, yeah, no problem. No problem.
But yeah, I'm agreeing about the Tua thing. But I'm gonna tell you what, like I said earlier, when we didn't have 55 people up on the screen, Tua's not going anywhere. Flores isn't going anywhere. It's going to go for one more season. I'm telling you, it's going to go for one more season. And if it has the same results as it does now, then it gets blown sky high. And that's
John, I want you to respond to that.
A new season with Tua and Flores?
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
I just got a question before John responds, and this kind of goes into the same thing. That deal that supposedly was in place pending Watson clearing up or settling whatever, that deal is supposedly in place. Does that mean that deal is going to be revisited once everything's settled, or do you think that they are going to give Tua one more year?
They are going to give Tua one more year. That deal is not going to be revisited. I don't think that Watson doesn't even have any charges against him. He's got a bunch of allegations. Okay, it hasn't even gone in front of grand jury, and
civil.
That's another thing. They only out of the 22, only 2 of them are claiming that he sexually assaulted them. But whatever. Okay, I'm in the parlor, so whatever.
All right, John, I want you to respond. Go ahead, John.
You talking to me to respond to me?
Yeah,
Big John.
Okay, all right. Here's the one thing people aren't talking about, and I've been saying this ad nauseum. I have another person who knows Dolphins insiders, and he tells me the same thing. Yeah, there's 24 allegations, fine. There's 10 criminal complaints. Now, I'm not worried about 8 of those 10 because 8 of those 10 fall into the 24 original allegations. There are 2 women who are accusing him of, deeper stuff, more concrete stuff, where those are the 2 that I'm afraid that he's going to go to prison. Okay, it's not there's 2 complaints of women that said it's not about the money. He did something and he's going to pay for it. Now, what they end up charging him with, I don't know. I do think we're going to have Tua here for another year. I mean, if you guys have watched me on Clock Blockers or on Dono, I've said I don't see him being here next year. He might even go to prison. I've said that ad nauseum. Now, I don't see him coming here next year for one reason. They moved his case, his hearing, from what I heard, they moved it. I don't know if you can hear me because I'm getting a phone call. Hold on.
Yeah, we heard a little bit of vibration. You're good.
My God, no. I'll be right back. Hold on, because now you guys can't hear me.
No problem.
No, we can hear you. We can hear you. You good, bro?
We can hear you.
You can hear me, but I can't hear you. Okay. I'll finish my thing and then I'll come back.
Yeah, and then I'll let
you can hear me. You can hear me.
Don't go anywhere,
Big
Big John.
But I can't really hear you.
Please,
but I'm going to finish what I was saying real quick, and then I'll come back.
Please don't go anywhere, Big John.
He's going to come right back, Ian. He's going to come right back, Ian.
Don't go anywhere.
He can't
get right back.
I have heard enough.
I'll come right back. God damn it, Gio, stop calling me.
I have heard enough.
Hold on, I'm coming back. Please. I know EM just jumped on. I'll be right back.
This buffoonery must stop. Listen here.
EM, I've been waiting for you to get in here, brother.
I am telling you right now, listen, Tua is done in Miami. I mean, done. He's toast, bro. He's not, even if they don't get Deshaun Watson, and I've heard this, from several plugged-in individuals. The disconnect is too wide. Stephen Ross himself has been quoted. Now, take this for what you want, but he has been quoted to saying that he thinks Tua, quote-unquote, stinks. He will not be in Miami. He's done. He's on borrowed time. So, y'all, I'm sorry, you Tuaneers, for all of y'all holding on for that glimmer of hope that Tua is going to be here in Miami and he's going to be the guy. It's over. He's going to get his chance somewhere else. And as far as Big John, I told you earlier, sir. I told you. Stop doing this foolishness.
Listen. It's not about, I told you, look, me and you talk every day. They don't know that me and you talk every day. But now they know me and you talk every day. Hey, you're like my mother. But me and EM, I talk more to EM than I do my ex-wife. So trust me. But anyway,
that's easier conversation.
That's my dog right there.
That's easier.
See, I'm getting jealous after hearing that from Big John.
Listen, bro, you called me the wrong time, bro. You just interrupted me from talking to EM, bro. That's a no-go. But anyway,
That's my dog right there.
Like
That's my dog right there.
Like I was saying, that's what I heard. I told the same thing I'm telling you. I told EM. EM and me have had discussions about it. Whatever happens, happens. I heard what he said. EM is one that he doesn't. When EM tells you something, if you're not paying attention, it's because either you're deaf, dumb, or stupid. Because I sat there and said that EM doesn't like Tua. EM was one of the first people on the Dolphin community to want Tua as a Dolphin quarterback. He is
was true.
That's true.
He's just a person. He's a person that he analyzes Tua for his ability, what he does, and what he doesn't do. Now, half of that is based on all the shit he's had around him, and other times Tua's just made bad decisions, like that throw he did against the Saints when Waddle was wide open. There was no reason to throw it to Matt Hollins, and that's on Tua. You know. Now we'll see what happens, where it goes. I've heard some things, EM's heard others, and we'll see where the cookie crumbles, where it ends up. But at the end of the day, you cannot. My whole thing with Flores is one thing, and I like Brian Flores as a person. He's a great leader, but I told DM the same thing. I'm going to tell you guys, if you cannot build a offensive staff, in my opinion, to me, you cannot be a head coach. And hopefully, if he stays, he gets some offensive coaches, to make this offense move. If not, we're in some deep shit. But with that offensive line, you got three guys tied for number one in pressures. I mean, Austin Jackson's a drive-through, and Jesse Davis is horrible. So I mean, if you can't block, no matter what quarterback you bring, you're gonna have the same issues. And it isn't like Deshaun Watson isn't injury prone. The guy's had a torn knee and he's had broken ribs. And if you put Jesse Davis to block for that man, they're gonna kill him again. You might win more games. You might make it to the playoffs, but you ain't going to win a championship.
Well, I'll say this. A lot of what you said is facts. It's factual. Obviously, the O-line needs improvement. We all know that. Ray Charles should clearly see that the O-line needs to be upgraded, right? But, however, there has, again, I attribute to the – I'm not going to say I'm going to put the majority of the blame on Tua, but I just think if okay, y'all know how I feel about Ryan Fitzpatrick, right? And I get he's a 15-year veteran compared to Tua's 2 years, right? I understand that. But my point is, if I didn't see Ryan Fitzpatrick have our offense performing at a top 10 clip with a worse O-line, I might add, right? No running game, and those very same receivers that people whine about don't get separation. Tua don't have help. He made it work. All those guys were having career years with Ryan Fitzpatrick at the helm. So you can see there's tangible proof from last year going back to 2019 into last year until they pulled him, right? There's tangible proof that you can make the situation with as presently constructed. And he didn't even have Jalen Waddle. So you can get it done. The production is possible. It's just not possible with Tua. Tua's just, he's mentally compromised. He's obviously physically compromised. So,
listen, in the comments, guys, Color Commentary writes about Deshaun. He was 3-3 as a rookie. Then he went 11-5, 10-5. And then when the team took a shit, they went 4-12.
And his number.
But okay, Big John Stud. And I want to have Gio chime in. But I feel everybody about Deshaun and listen, Big John Stud, maybe those two, ones that are important, maybe that comes back. But in this quarterback market that's potentially happening, we're looking at, even guys like Baker Mayfield are trying to get in on this action on the market that's going to be. This team's got the capital. It's got a defense, which a lot of great quarterbacks really just need a great defense. And I'm not saying that. I don't think personally that Flo's a one-trick pony. I do think there's a lot of merit in what you say about his lack thereof with the look, bro, there's a lot of first-time coaching hires. But, we got guys like Aaron Rodgers that could come around here, man. I'm paying to see that show is what I'm saying. What you got, Gio?
That little record that Color Commentary put up there, which, by the way, Color Commentary, much love, much respect, bro. At the end of the day, he went 11-5, 10-5 when he had D-Hop.
Yep, I was going to say that.
He had Will Fuller. He had a run game, and he had a defense. So at the end of the day,
He's never had a run game.
At the end of the day, that's why after all those people left, that's why he's 4-12.
But he still led the league in passing.
Because listen, hold on. The reason why he led the league in passing at 4-12 is because they were behind and they were just chucking the football.
Gio, just wait a second, Gio, and I'll let you get this as EM after that. But do we think Tua could put up those numbers behind a crappy team like that? And that's my point, man. Not the way I've seen him, and he's been injury prone up to this point.
Have we asked Tua to do it?
I mean,
he's been down plenty of times.
I saw them ask him to throw the ball a lot last week. And there were
all right. Take last week out of the picture. When he did it against the Jags, and the Atlanta. When he did it against the Jags and Atlanta Falcons and against the Arizona Cardinals last year, he was able to do it.
Yeah, the Cardinal game.
EM says
the Cardinal game, he drove down for the field goal.
Go ahead, Brandon.
The Cardinal game, yes, that was the one game that I've always went back to that he showed something of where the game was on the line. It could have went either way, and he did drive the team down for a field goal. Now, that's great. Now you go back to the Kansas City game. That game, they were so far down. I don't want to say that they were meaningless yards, but they totally went into a prevent defense and milked that.
He was a touchdown away with 40 seconds left.
And by the way, in Arizona, and by the way, in the Arizona game, the defense gave him a touchdown as well. They scored a touchdown in that game.
Yes, strip sack. Shaq Lawson took it to the house from the offense strip, right?
And if Arizona's kicker makes that last field goal, that's a loss on his record. That's a loss if their kicker makes that field goal.
My thing, you go back to the Denver game last year. You go back to a lot of games where he's behind. Where has he actually put the team on his back and went and won a game? Never. That's what I said. What special moments has he had?
He's had special throws. He's had a couple special throws, and that's everything Tua has been. Everything that Tua is talking about is on these like 10 throws in 2 years now that he's had that are like gorgeous.
It's not enough.
Nobody else makes those throws, but that's it.
Hey, you want to talk about a real special
go back to Alabama? Go back to Alabama.
What about that 3rd and 8 last year, early in the game last week, where he had to roll out? And it was a 3rd and 8, and he didn't just one hop it. That was a special 2-hopper.
That was
on an 8-yard.
Was that the Mac Collins throw? That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
8-yard pass.
Kyler Murray has had moments. Kyler Murray has had moments where he looks like that.
Yeah, but Kyler Murray can go win you a game. Kyler Murray can go win you a game.
And listen, and my argument. Listen, my argument has always been, what is Tua special at? And everybody says the accuracy. Okay, it's all short passes.
The anticipation.
Hold on.
No, that's been bro. Stop it, Gio.
Hold on.
Please.
The Kyler Murray.
Please stop.
Hold on. The Kyler Murray thing is even coming out of college, and you see it now. You say what? I ask you real quick. What is he special at? He is special with that.
Guys, real quick. Quick question to everybody on the panel. Are we Peyton Manning?
No.
Are we
Peyton
Manning?
All right. We're not Peyton Manning. We didn't play football for almost 17 years. We don't know what it takes, right? We don't know all the at the end of the day, as much as we want to say we know, we didn't play quarterback in the NFL. You have people like Peyton Manning coming out and saying these same things, the anticipation, the footwork, the mechanics. Moving the defense at the eyes. Manning doesn't have to. You think they pay Manning to come out and say those things?
Yeah, but Gio, in the same coin, and I want to hear your response.
I remember.
I want to hear your response, EM. I want to hear your response, EM. But Gio, on the other side of that coin, show me something Peyton Manning's talking bad about somebody, dog. He don't do that.
I was about to say, didn't Peyton Manning go to bat for Adam Gase a bunch?
Yes,
how well qualified. So once again, you know what I'm saying?
Listen.
Go ahead, EM. Go ahead, EM.
Peyton Manning was highlighting one game, right? One game. You know, he was not evaluating Tua's body of work. It was one game. Let's keep that in perspective. Okay, A. B, also, Tua, like Mike pointed out, Tua has flashed now. Big time ability, big time throws, consistent mechanics, et cetera, et cetera. But that at the NFL level, bro, the requirement is consistency. And Tua has been wildly inconsistent in so many areas of his game, and that is what's plaguing him right now, bro.
So
it's not about him.
He's a consistent turnover machine.
Go ahead, Mike.
So here's my question. This is straight to Gio. I don't want anybody else to respond. EM, if you have something to say it after Gio. But Gio, I am not going to disagree with everything you said about his eye movement, his eye discipline, his going through his progressions, his pre-snap reads, his reads on when he did that flea flicker and he was reading the defense before the ball ever came back to him. I'm not disagreeing on any of that with you, but he can't make the throw. That's what it comes down to, is making the throw. He has to make the throw, and I don't believe Tua has the ability to make those throws. Yes, he can diagnose it. He can read it, but he's going to have to get all of his mechanics switched to be able to make those throws consistently, because I've seen him step into maybe 3 or 4 throws in his entire 2 years where he stepped in and it was a pretty deep ball. But other than that, he can't make the throw. So that being said, Gio, is that enough to be able to diagnose the defense but not be able to make the throw?
So my honest answer to that is I've watched football for a long time. Probably not as long as EM because he's a little older than me. But I saw a lot of football with Phillip Rivers. And EM probably knows where I'm already going with this.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers, guys, you guys want to say Tua can't throw the ball? I don't. If you guys debate me on this, then I don't know what we're seeing here. Put on tape on Phillip Rivers' last 7 years in the league.
Gio, and I don't want to pile on here. And
Gio made it to the playoffs. You're right, Gio. I get what you're saying.
Let me respond to that, Gio. And here's the thing that I, as a Tua supporter, early on, and Brandon will contest, and my people, and you guys have heard me support Tua, and I know that in some ways I've flip-flopped, but I've always stayed in the middle of the road for my Dolphins. But Tua didn't show that thing that I wanted to see out of him, because I know he doesn't have
no balls.
Listen, I don't want to call him ballless, but
no command of the huddle, dude. No command of the huddle.
When you look at Phillip Rivers, he has
like 9 kids.
He had fire in him. Now, he didn't say one swear word, but he would get in people's faces. He didn't take no shit. Yeah. And Tua is letting people walk all over him. If he would have stepped up and said, screw you, Flo, I'm chucking the ball, or I'm putting dimes on it, or I'm going to check out of this pass play because it's dumb as hell in the rain and run the ball.
That's his fault.
That's
right about that.
He should have done that.
Gio, I'm trying to figure out. Gio, real quick. I'm trying to figure out what was your point? What was your point? What was your point about Phillip Rivers?
My point with Phillip Rivers is that guy basically, bro, he was throwing marshmallows his last 6-7 years.
Okay. But I get it.
The last Rivers was not that good. Well, but yes, I agree with you. But the key there, you said it, Gio. The key was his last 6 or 7 years. Tua is in his first 2 years.
He played like
5 and 7 in the playoffs. His first 10 years of his career were golden. I mean, he could throw the ball way better than Tua.
And also Phillip Rivers, Gio, to your point, I do agree with you. There's comparable arm strength there. I can see where you're making that comparison. But Phillip Rivers didn't have problems, reading all 3 levels of the field consistently. He didn't have a problem. He was accurate as any quarterback probably that we've ever seen. Tua's issue is, again, I keep saying this, bro. At this stage of his development, he's scheme specific right now. He cannot handle a NFL progression-based offensive approach. He can. Again, he's 2 different quarterbacks. When he's an RPO quarterback, he's exceptional in that format. But put him in a traditional NFL format, he struggles mightily. And it's not just reading all 3 levels. It's his mechanics. It's his accuracy. It's his placement. It's all of these traits that we thought Tua was supposed to be elite in. And he's not, bro. And it's not even funny.
It's sad. He can't throw a 12-yard out from the pocket, and that right there is what any NFL quarterback should have in his bag.
Remember that throw? Remember that pick 6 he threw against the Jets when he was trying to make that out right to Hunter Long?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That stick route. I mean.
Yeah. No, I know which one you're talking about. But Johnny, let Gio respond, and then you're up next. Gio, what you got to say to Ian's point?
I'll agree that he lacks. This is the thing with Tua. He's mechanically sound. When he's off balance throwing those throws, there's no strength. He can't make any throws off balance with power behind them. That is true. I've seen it, right? Now, here's the thing. That same throw to the sideline, he did make against the Giants to Jalen Waddle.
Yes, but again, flashing.
Yeah,
consistency is a requirement, bro. Consistency is a requirement.
Now let's also look. Richmond Webb came on the show. I don't know if you guys were able to catch that segment. Richmond Webb came on, and this is the thing that I'm hearing from players that played in the Dolphins, man. And one thing I keep hearing from linemen is that it starts with the offensive line. If a play breaks down, it's a matter of less than a second and a half that play is going to get blown up. A lot of these things that we're seeing is inconsistency everywhere on the offense.
I give you that.
There was a lot.
He mentioned that in press conference too. He did mention that.
There was a lot of moments out there, man, where receivers still, bro, didn't know where they were lined up. Still didn't know where to go. Still didn't know the routes. How about this? Let's go back to that Tennessee game. Tua in the rain threw the longest air distance pass of Sunday to Jalen Waddle in the sleek snow rain, and it was beautiful breadbasket throw to the sideline. Now, here's the thing.
I've seen Josh Rosa make that throw. By the way.
But here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing. I have an inkling, right? Tua's only played, and I know this is going to sound bad because everyone says it, right? But at the end of the day, I do believe in this because I've seen great quarterbacks that have taken 3 years for the game to slow down, right? It just does. Right now with Tua, there's been a lot of inconsistency everywhere. It starts with him, but it's also been everywhere. 2 offensive coordinators. Receivers that for the last 2 years he really can't rely on.
Well, and to your point, he has had a revolving door of weapons around him the last 2 years, and I get all that. But at the same time, every quarterback's going to have to deal with that at some point in their career. And early on, they show promise of being able to handle that to further their career. But besides that, I want Johnny to respond real quick, and then Big John, I want to hear what you got to say.
Okay, so Big John, you were talking about Flores is basically saying he's a one-trick pony. He's a defensive guy, okay? He comes from the tree of Belichick. Everybody knows that. Comes out of that tree. Belichick is a defensive guru. That's what he is. But his offense is ran by Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels is an offensive guru. Now, Belichick has become offensive-minded only because of Josh McDaniels. He was not that way before Josh McDaniels, okay? Now, all we need in Miami, and I'm telling you, Tua's going to stay, is an elite offensive coordinator. We need an offensive line and all that crap like that, but it starts with the coordinator. And once we get that coordinator in there, that's going to be there for 3 or 4 seasons and then pass, like Josh McDaniels, we are going to have Tua's going to be what everybody has thought he should be. And I'm telling you,
Big John Stud, I want you to get to that after this, but we got somebody else coming on the chat. MCJB, what's happening?
Guys, real quick, because I gotta go, guys. I love everybody on the panel. You're doing a fucking great job. Sorry, my French.
No, you're okay, brother. It's late night tailgate party that never stops, dog. There's a couple beers being tossed around. You know how it goes.
You guys have a great night. I'll see you guys another time.
Appreciate you jumping on, man.
Thanks, Gio. See you later, brother.
Thanks, Gio.
I'll hear what you got to say on that, Big John. What do you think about what I just said?
All right, man. I'm gonna first let me clarify a couple of things that Gio was saying, because I do agree that I agree more with what EM said, but I agree with it for a particular reason. I've told EM this, and I'm telling you guys this. I think Tua is playing scared in the pocket. He needs to get over his PTSD of that injury and throw the football down the field, because every time they blitz Tua, you see Tua like ball up, throw the ball. Even on that pass he threw to Matt Hollins, the bomb against the Saints, he threw it and turned his shoulder because he knew he was gonna get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah,
My French.
Yeah.
You're okay, brother.
He needs to get over that. You know what I'm saying? Until he gets over that, I don't think we're gonna see elite Tua. And it's not only that, he is that offensive line is horrible. All right. I think if Tua could fire his offensive line, he would. All of them at the same time.
Hey, he didn't buy them Christmas presents, did he?
Time.
I heard he didn't buy any Christmas presents this year. So
buy Christmas presents. You broke my fucking ribs. What am I gonna buy you?
Hey, some blessings.
And John, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead.
We were trying to say, see what MCJB was gonna say after.
Yeah, let him on.
Go ahead. What's the question? Hey, how y'all doing?
What's good, brother? Nothing. We're just in on the convo, dog. We're just seeing what you were thinking about. You know, obviously, I'm not saying anyone's teams over here because I believe everybody got the best interest for the team in mind. The perspective is Flo not giving him the weaponry for Tua, which there is very good argument there, especially with the shitty offensive line we've been seeing.
Sure.
But is Tua underwhelming? Because I mean, listen, we've dealt with a quarterback that's been injured. We've dealt with a quarterback that can't put the ball where we want it to be. Inconsistencies. But there's been inconsistencies all over this team. But what we do know, and Dolphin Johnny, a perspective that nothing's going to change would be crazy. But I'm not saying it's not a wrong perspective because
nothing's going to change. They're going to get an offensive coordinator. That's what they're going to do.
That's what I'm saying. And listen, but I worry, and EM said this, what offensive coordinator is going to want to come here for quarterback?
Who are we going to get to come to Miami?
Yeah, and you said Brady.
And Coach Tua.
That's
Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson, on the other hand, that's a different story. I think you'll see a lot of coordinators
they'll be
lining up to get to Miami.
So what you think, MCJB?
Listen, a good artist, which is your offensive coordinator, wants good materials to work with.
Go ahead, MC.
I don't know. An up and coming offensive coordinator like Joe Brady wants somebody that he can prepare for and make into a star, just like Josh McDaniels with Brady. I'm telling you, watch it happen.
Not a player that's currently damaged goods, bro. That's not happening.
Let's let MC talk, guys. Let's let him get his. Yeah, let's get what he is.
We want to hear what you got to say.
We're going to get it now.
So can y'all hear me very well?
Sound great.
Sound great.
So here's what I'm thinking. I think Tua has for the backfield, he has the weapons, but if the O-line can't help for the weapons to unleash, then what's the point? Without an O-line, you can't really do nothing.
So you say we keep him one more year?
Yeah.
Listen, you can say no, but still want a better O-line.
No,
I think everybody agrees.
It's because I was on Stephen D's show, and I think it was
You sound like you were trying to pick between two women, man.
And I So
you want the blonde or brunette, dog? The blonde or the brunette?
Listen, all right. So listen, I want Tua, but I don't. I think
you like his character.
Yes, I think everyone likes his character, but how do I put this? I
give it right where it needs to be, bro.
I'd give him one. See how he does against New England and Mac Jones. If he does,
change my mind.
If he does well, not well,
he has to do great.
Forget well. Give him 110%. He does great. Balls out. Chip on the shoulder. Wins the game. I'd say
if he's on the Patriots, then I think we should give him a second chance.
I want to say something.
Go ahead, John.
That'll be a huge mistake.
I want to say something real quick because I even had this conversation with EM, and you brought up a topic about weapons, right? Do you guys know that Tua Tagovailoa has played more games in his career with Jakeem Grant than with Devontae Parker?
Yeah.
Oh, I believe
Do you
that.
know how
It's a revolving
ridiculous
door.
that is?
Yeah.
Jakeem Grant can't catch a beach ball with stickum gloves. Okay,
Yeah.
that guy is fucking horrible.
That's
As
fine.
much as, like I said, that's why me and EM we have the difference of opinion to a certain degree. I know what EM wanted from Tua. I want the same thing. But the only other offensive coordinator that I like, and I've said this since last year, and me and EM disagree, but I would love to see Steve Sarkisian, who wanted to coach Tua, gave an endorsement, said on video, I would like to coach Tua Tagovailoa for the rest of my career. I mean, hello. I mean, all he's got to do is
as long as he's
knock on your door.
as long as he's coaching him in the RPO.
Big John,
I think,
Wait, hold on.
As long as he's coaching him at Alabama with
So
that,
is RPO
that
something
loaded
that's
team.
not in the NFL often?
It's a run
No,
pass
bro,
offense.
it's never in the
triple,
NFL.
It's like a
That's
triple
run
option,
pass
dude.
offense, right? Run
Yeah, it's a run pass
Yeah,
offense.
it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the quarterback can
much as
hand
the
it off, he can
Wildcat.
pass it, or he can run it. He gets three options. He can hand it off, he can pass it, or he can run it.
It's not sustainable at the NFL level.
It really isn't, because the NFL level with the rules is about taking big shots, because this is an entertainment business, guys. We don't want to be snoring in our seats. We want to be roaring. You know what I'm saying? And I
a
haven't.
true RPO, you got to have a dynamic
bell cow.
Your quarterback
A mobile
not
quarterback.
just that, a mobile quarterback has to be a threat to make that work. Even close, because look at Lamar. I mean, he runs a lot of RPOs too.
There's two QBs in the league.
And Lamar,
and
to your point, and that's a perfect example to your point about having an element of mobility with your quarterback, because it's just another dimension you can add in that format. But if you have a quarterback that's limited, pushing the ball down the field, limited mobility, can only read one half of the field. It is too hard. It is too hard to be successful in this league, bro.
Listen, I don't mean to pile on. I don't mean to pile on with EM, but typically when you get a young quarterback, you kind of get a quarterback that, because they're young and cheap, they have the ability to run around a little bit, take a bit of heat, and we got one that was injured. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry to cut you off. EM, did you just call Lamar Jackson a quarterback?
No. What I said was no. I was talking about in that RPO approach. That's why you can have success if you have a quarterback that's mobile. Huh?
Okay. All right.
I agree. No. Hey, Big John, you know how I feel about Lamar as a passer. We're talking about just the RPO approach.
Yeah, RPO approach of it. If you're going to run it,
I don't even think Lamar can do an RPO, because you're going to throw the ball eventually.
So, Punk, yes, you're right.
Yep.
Yes, they did it. They did it in Seattle. They did it, and they did it successfully in Seattle. But listen. Russell Wilson can make the throws that Tua's never going to make. Russell Wilson can get out on the run and make a throw. He can. Yeah, Russell Wilson can do the thing.
I'm not
game on the
Tua's
line
as good as Russell Wilson.
We've seen Tua do that in Arizona. But I didn't see it this year, where he's putting that. Listen, and he has made some big passes, and we've seen that. But and I think it was you, Mike, that said it. It's almost like it's perfect mechanics. He gets that perfect 3-step drop. He's got both hands on the ball. He steps in and he heaves it, and it's a beautiful pass, and I love it when I see it. But at times, man, when that guy's running free, that pocket ain't that clean. You don't have that full double step up to heave everything. I need you to be able to crank that bad boy right over the heads of everyone.
Flick of the
I
wrist.
said this earlier about his mechanics need to completely change, and why I say this is because of his
really be able to.
Yes, he can. Drew Brees did it. Drew Brees did it. Russell Wilson's not tall. Kyler Murray's not tall. But let me finish. Tua's hip will never let him throw the ball like he's used to ever again. It's not going to happen. It doesn't have the strength for the torque to get that ball where it needs to be in an imperfect situation. When he's perfectly balanced, gets to step into it, it's a beautiful throw, but that's a mechanics that you can't repeat, as Chris was saying. So he has to completely change his mechanics to get that torque back, to be able to figure out some way to put more velocity and power behind his throw. But right now, his hip, and as Ian said earlier, he's damaged goods. He's shy. He's gun shy as hell right now. And so whenever he goes to make the throw, if he's falling backwards, it's what we've seen this season is that there's been like 7 throws this season where he actually stepped into it. Mac Hollins, Jalen Waddle, and a few other ones where he stepped into it, and it was the throw that I'm like, oh my gosh. See, now I could get used to that, but I haven't seen it consistently enough to think that he's the guy. I'm not doubting his mental capabilities. I'm not doubting the ability for him to read pre-snap. I'm not doubting any of his ability because he is still in the NFL. Listen. I'm not arguing. Okay, but it's not for me to say I'm not a professional, so I can doubt it. I don't agree with it. But yes, but let me get back to what I'm saying really quick, and I'm done. I promise. Here's the thing: Tua right now, in his second season, Kohler brought this up, and this is what I wanted to get to. Peyton Manning went 1-15, had more interceptions than touchdowns his first season, and nobody had this conversation about him. Not one person was questioning whether or not he was going to be good in the NFL. Tua has been questioned from day one, and that it doesn't happen with a franchise quarterback. They don't get questioned from day one, and then 2 years later, are still asking the same question.
They're still questioning Aaron Rodgers. He got a dip and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They question people. Go ahead real quick, Tom.
So, all right. So what we were talking about on Wednesday, Mike, when I said the Dolphins need a more holistic approach to this offseason, I did not know about the exact injuries to Tua and him being able to plant and run around and not throw the ball and like his situation in the pocket. And you just said that it's not as progressive as they want it to be because of his injuries. And I didn't even know that, but I was hitting on exactly what they need. They need to focus on getting him to be better, maybe heal up, maybe like.
Yeah, but this team ain't got that kind of time, Tonk. They're not gonna wait. That's franchise.
It's been 2 years. 7 months.
If Tua was on a different team, bro, I could see taking that approach.
7 months.
Big John Stud. Please, Big John Stud. You've been waiting. Go ahead.
Listen. The only way you're gonna see what you want to see from Tua is if Tua gets an offensive line to give him more than 3 seconds to throw the football. Other than that, you're not gonna see the Tom Brady. I'm not disputing. I'm not. Wait. I'm not disputing what you're saying. I agree with you, but what I'm saying is the only way you guys are gonna see that from Tua is if Tua has time to throw the football. And on this team, if they don't fix the offensive line, it's not gonna matter.
Yeah, but Big John, real quick, I want a quarterback that can do it in under 3 seconds. Because
there's 3 of them available. There's 3 of them available. There's 3 of them available. They can do it in under 3 seconds.
And Big John.
Go ahead, EM. Go ahead,
and Big John, bro. See, this is, I don't think enough of our fan base are paying attention
I didn't finish my point, but go ahead, Ian.
Oh,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What I was saying was, well, you need to see what you want to see from Tua. You need an offensive line. They don't have that here now.
Okay.
Are they going to address it? If they do, you'll see it from Tua. They don't have, like he was saying, they don't have that kind of time. For this kind of defense that we have, Xavier Howard and Byron Jones, they're not going to be running around the field man on man forever. You can't do that till the end of time. So you got to get this done now. Either they fix the offensive line or they move on from Tua and get somebody else.
Hey guys, I gotta go.
Well, let me ask you this.
Later, Johnny. Later,
Dolphin Johnny. Later, bro.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
So
and then EM.
If Tua was so successful in Alabama with the RPO, why would they bring him to the Dolphins where there isn't such a good position for a quarterback that's good at the RPO?
Because they.
I mean, no. That is good at the RPO, but why would you bring him to a
why
team
didn't they build
that
around
doesn't?
it?
Yes, that doesn't sit well with the RPO quarterback.
Well, they failed because they.
Wait.
Go ahead, EM. Respond. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that real quick, bro?
All right. So what I'm saying is, when Tua was at Alabama, we agree that it was a run RPO offense for him.
Right.
So if that isn't how the Dolphins are orchestrated for a quarterback, why would they bring him in if he can't succeed in their type of offense?
Tell him what TD said, EM.
That's the only thing that he can handle, bro, at this time. That's it.
What?
That's pretty much all for him to be successful at this stage of his development. I mean, I disagreed with TD for so long about this, but I kept watching tape, and I was like, man, T. First off, I hate to agree with TD. I hate to agree with TD on anything, by the way. But he was right.
When you do too.
He was. I mean, a lot of what he was saying was factual because
Thanks
for
jumping in.
I think the reason why the Dolphins had to go so RPO heavy is because at this stage of his development, that's pretty much all he can handle. That's the only offense that he can be somewhat competent in. Because if you look at when he's in an RPO format and you look at when he's in a traditional format, the numbers are staggeringly low when he's in a traditional NFL-based offense. I mean, it's not even close, bro.
So Big John, you watched the Tennessee game? Big John, did you watch the Tennessee game?
Oh, you know he did.
Okay,
unfortunately, I did. Yes.
And I want to get back to Ian. The reason I'm asking is because in that game, he had multiple plays where he had 5 or 6 seconds and still couldn't make the throw.
And that's my question to Big John. Like you keep saying, like to your comment about you're not going to be able to see what you need to see from Tua until you get an offensive line. No, that's not true, bro. Because Tua in stretches in every game, every quarterback, the O-line can give up 7 sacks. But that's 7 plays out of how many plays?
Out of 50.
Out of 50. Yeah. So during stretches in a game, bro, every quarterback has enough time to survey the field and distribute the football according to what the defense is giving them, what looks are giving them.
I agree.
So, and I am telling you on film, and when Tua is in that drop back format, bro, it's not pretty. That's just a fact.
All right, let me. First of all, I agree to a certain point with what you're saying. But I don't agree completely with what you're saying because at the end of the day, when we watched him play last year against Arizona, correct? And he brought the Dolphins back to win. First of all, you made a comment earlier, and I disagree with that. That offensive line from last year is worse than the one this year because that one last year was by far better than the one this year, completely better in every aspect.
Why?
Okay.
Because
it is better. It is better. Last year's offensive line was better than this year's all day. You did not have 7 drive-throughs and 5 positions. We had 5 blockers and 6 leaks because no running back could block. As much as I love Myles Gaskin, he can't stop a nosebleed.
They got the same offensive line, Big John, and Austin Jackson playing at left tackle.
No, they don't.
How do you
think
it?
Listen. They do not have Ted Karras, who to me is better than
Flowers.
They do not have Flowers.
Flowers is better than Jackson.
They do not wait, EM. They do not
have
this guy. What's his? They do not have who's playing right guard right now.
Robert Hunt.
Right guard Hunt. Now.
Robert Hunt was playing right tackle last year.
Right
guard.
Right.
Okay. The offensive
line
is
Solomon Kinley.
The offensive line was better last year, EM, first of all. Second of all, last year when he played Arizona, he did play a progression offense. They were not running the RPO, and he did an okay job.
Bro,
so
but it's one game out of 20, and
that's
everybody
one game, Big John.
Everybody goes back to Arizona. Everybody goes back to Arizona every time.
A lot of hope.
Wait, 1 out of 20.
Look.
1 out of 20.
He did it against Arizona. He did it against
and it still
KC.
wasn't that great.
And really, bro, the defense gave him a touchdown, bro.
Listen,
was it all
in the KC game, they were up.
Was it all Tua? Come on, man.
KC, they were up so much, and they looked at the clock, and they said, you know what? Prevent. And they did. And they let us march down the field, eat up the clock, and we ran short. Of course we did. Did he make some good throws? Did he do a few good things? Yeah, I remember the Gesicki throw he had was filthy. It was great. But still, that's it. We're talking about 2 games. We're talking about 2 games out of 20.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. All I'm saying is I'm not saying you're wrong or right. I agree with a lot of the points you guys are making. What I'm saying is at the end of the day, as much as we like to roar instead of snore, okay, I don't give a flying fuck if he throws for 4 yards. Look, they were praising Matt Jones for handing off the ball 46 times, okay? They were praising him.
Yeah,
everybody on ESPN was praising Mac Jones. What are you talking about? Go put on ESPN, bro.
They're
That's
only
because
gonna
Robert
play
Kraft.
the
That's
Patriots.
because Robert Kraft.
Man, I'm telling you.
No.
Listen,
With the
I
Patriots,
think you got
man,
I think you got your Tua cap on, bro. That's what I think.
I'm not
I
talking
think you
about
need
that.
to remove it.
Listen. Look, I'll take off my cap. Here, look.
Get up here, Ennis. Where you at, Ennis?
Yeah, Ennis, what happened, bro? You were in here in the background. What happened? Get back in here, Ennis. I'll drop a link.
Hey, listen, man.
It should be
First of
pinned.
all,
Is it pinned, guys? Let me know in the comments if it's pinned in there.
They are pro Tua guys, bro. They gonna die on that sword.
No. Listen, you keep saying that, and you know that's not true, because when we talk about Deshaun Watson, if it wasn't for him banging 40 strippers and having 22 lawsuits, I don't care where he is or what team he's on, bro.
I
don't know. That sounds kind of Miami to me, dog. That's kind of Miami.
Big John, I don't call you
Hold on.
Hey, here comes Ennis. Let Ennis get in on this. Let Ennis get in, guys. Go ahead.
I ain't a tour guy. Yeah, what you talking about? I'm watching the superheroes on the way, baby. We're going to the World Championship next year, baby. What we talking about? What y'all arguing about? We going to the ship, baby. The superheroes on the way. I don't even want to talk about tour no more. After tomorrow, Sunday, I don't even want to talk about him, bro. I'm dead serious. I'm gonna follow him wherever he go. I'm a supporter. But I'm a Dolphin. If you say the Savior's on the way, I'm holding you to it, and that's all it is. I told you.
I'm sorry to bust.
I'm gonna be Pete. I'm gonna be Pete. When Pete was on tour, I'm gonna be on Watson. So just be ready.
Hey, listen. Listen, y'all are Tua guys. Y'all aren't Tuaneers. There's a difference.
Yeah. Because I was a Tua guy.
I was too. I was too.
I'm sorry.
I still think he could be great if he has the right team around him and the right coaching.
I'm sorry to bust everybody's bubble.
I don't know about great.
I agree. Hey, listen, I agree.
I don't know about
agree.
great.
I don't want to interrupt, but I agree with Anthony in the comments. There's a way to settle this debate. If we just get Aaron Rodgers on this team, everybody gonna be happy. Let's get it.
Aaron Rodgers.
Give me some Aaron Rodgers, bro.
He already said the grass is green where he waters it. He ain't going nowhere.
I'm gonna sit there and say something, and people aren't gonna like it, and they're not gonna care. But I'm saying no.
So I got a question for all y'all. What is going to be the biggest thing we do this offseason? What's going to be the solution?
All right, I like that round table. Let's start with you, Brandon. And we'll go around in a circle, going that way around. So you, Brandon, then Mike, and then it'll go to you, Tom, or to John, and then EM, and then so on. So go, Brandon.
It can't be
What's
no.
So the biggest thing for this off season is obviously figuring out what we're going to do with quarterback. That's all it is. I mean, nothing. It all starts and ends there.
All right, go, Mike.
Else to talk about.
Mike,
I as much as I'm,
on there with Brandon.
For me, it's 1A, 1B. No, because I still think it don't matter what quarterback you get in here. And yes, I get that Watson and Rodgers and Wilson can do it with the less of an offensive line. But I think
color commentary, he's got here #flowing on.
I think we got to shore up the offensive line. I think that's the number one place we got to start, because that helps our run game and that helps our quarterback, whoever it may be. I think that, but at the same time, we have to get a quarterback. So, but to help the running game, other than Rodgers or Watson being able to stretch the field and do those types
all
of things,
these things got to happen. We said one thing.
I know, but that's what I said. I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's offensive line for me.
Okay,
no 1A, 1B.
Okay, yeah, no 1A, 1B. Only one thing. That's it. Tom, what you got? We're going offensive line, quarterback. We're talking new coach. What we got now? What we got?
I'm saying quarterback.
Okay,
whether it's working on Tua or getting another one.
Okay, so I like that. So we can pseudo do quarterback with like maybe a quarterback whisperer coming in, even though I hate that fucking term. Bro. I hate that.
Man,
if you're a quarterback whisperer,
like,
talk it loud enough where I can hear you, bro. I don't need to hear the whisper. I want to hear that you're a really good quarterback guy. EM, what you got, brother? Where are we going? I know where you're going.
Y'all already know what it is, baby. Deshaun Watson. In the story.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
No.
And then and Big John Stud, what about you, brother?
We need to get sexier cheerleaders. Not just kidding.
Woo! I love that answer.
I can back
that. Well, hey, man. Look, I'm not gonna bullshit.
That's what we need. Players more distracted.
Everybody knows me. Everybody knows me. EM knows me. I work at a strip club, bro, so I'm good. When I'm working, I work at a strip club. And if you guys don't know, and you're in Miami, pass by, I'll get you in for free.
Bro,
Now,
Big John Stud, I am totally gonna hit you up on that, dog, when I'm in town. No fucking around, dog. No bullshit. I will party down at the strip club. You know, I know this purple jacket ain't fake, dog. I get down. Strip club, my speed. Let's get on it. I'm bringing my lady.
As
Don't
far
think
as
I'm
what
that
I
kind of
think
guy.
we
My
need-
lady party with me.
If it's me, I'm going offensive line, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Because at the end of the day, regardless, it's true what they say. Regardless of what you do, man. Regardless of what quarterback is back here, man. If you don't block, man.
Yeah,
and the run game
You ain't
too.
wrong.
The run
Yeah,
game,
the run
you get the
game.
run
Yeah,
game
but at
clicking
the end
too,
of the
man.
day, what blocking is blocking for the running game and blocking for the
Exactly.
That's
passing
right.
game.
And if you and Big John Stud, the last time we seen this team have any success was when, as Omar Kelly coined years ago, when the unicorns were on there. When we had a unicorn style of offense of line that actually did some damage. Ennis, what you got, brother? What's the one thing? Are we going Flo? We going Tua Stan? We going Greer? We going
cheerleaders?
Listen, cheerleaders. We always want more, so we'll keep that on that. We all agree more cheerleaders. We want them on every corner of the field and every way. Ennis dropped out. We got Tony sitting in the back. No, Tony, what about you, bro? One thing we changing, and then I'm gonna go to a little bit of a picture I got here for mine.
This is a combination. Actually, it's
we can kind of combo, but go for it, brother.
Jim Harbaugh and Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams.
Oh man,
the Dolphins.
He wants the package.
He wants the package.
Wow.
Yeah, listen, we're mixing
I
it up.
I want to end world hunger and I want world peace.
I know, right?
It's not as likely.
I know, right?
Thank you. I won this beautiful award too. Thank you. Ennis, what you got, brother? Tony, I love it, brother. Thank you. Tony, or excuse me, Ennis.
All I got is Harbaugh 2022.
All right, so we got
Harbaugh
2022.
I don't get where all the Harbaugh love come from. But
listen,
you want to talk about hold on. You want to talk about a weird, abrasive personality talking about Flo. Jim Harbaugh is that times 10.
I've never.
That is a
But he has a
personality.
But Brandon, he has a track record.
Of what?
He could build an offense. That's for certain. I like
Thank
that.
you. Y'all talk about Watson's track record. Y'all got to talk about his track record now. Put some respect on that man's name, like EM said.
Jim
respect on that man's name.
Listen, a former Super Bowl, get to the Super Bowl type quarterback or coach is not going to come here and coach under a rookie head coach that can't make the playoffs.
No, he'd be.
I don't think.
I was gonna say something.
No, they're saying he's going to be the head coach. Yeah, it's head coach.
Yeah, we're not saying under.
All right, for me, guys, I like to take the middle of the road. So I'll make my pick. The one thing I want to see next year is, I just want to see a different quarterback being changed. And I think this is our guy right here, guys. I think this is our guy right here, bro. If you guys can look closely,
he'll be.
If you could see
don't
who's in
drink
the mask
Gatorade.
there.
Just don't
If you guys are watching
Gatorade
on
the
YouTube,
other team.
if you watch on YouTube, I mean, listen, I know it's something I put on Facebook. I had it in there. It got, or excuse me, not Facebook, on Twitter. I went ahead. It got some good and negative reaction.
Joke,
it's good to see. It's
Bill Cosby's face.
It's Bill Cosby's face in the thing.
Yeah,
man.
but
listen,
the joke with that?
I forget it, bro.
If
you missed the mark, if it missed the mark, I'm not going to go into it. My point is,
I will say
my point is.
Go ahead.
Listen, my point is that this team has flirted with Deshaun a long time. It seems to me that EM, you heard me the other day, man. It seems like the office has teed up themselves financially. They've got an out with Tua. Outside of losing a 6th overall pick in value to move on from him.
A fifth.
I think
five
is the 5th overall.
5th.
I am here to tell you. Tua is done it don't matter if they get Watson or not. Tua is done. They have a fallback plan in place, right? Just in case Watson does go to prison for 20 years. But it's highly unlikely that he won't, and Deshaun Watson will be the target. Deshaun Watson will be the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins.
I think the Dolphins are moving in that direction.
Hold on, I want to say something real quick, and it has not been brought up in one show, never has been talked about, and has been totally forgotten. But the special teams unit, punting, kicking, punt returns, everything has been a major setback and a huge disappointment. And I think a lot of games, we're talking about field position, making field goals, and stuff like that, has been a huge disappointment this year. And things like that can sneak a game or two a year. And I think we need to get that.
I put all that blame on Pilardi, man. He's holding the ball wrong. Obviously. He's been punting the ball bad, and he's obviously
punting with the wrong foot. Maybe maybe he don't know what foot to use.
It looked like that last game. Big John.
The Dolphins are going to draft Lou Headley from Miami, the Australian kid.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah. Big John Stud, you were going to say something there a second ago.
I'm going to say something, and I know EM isn't going to like it, and everybody up here is going to probably flip out, but I'm telling you now. Tua Tagovailoa is not going anywhere. I don't care what anybody. I'm already telling. EM already knows where I'm saying what I'm saying, but I went today to reiterate. Tua Tagovailoa is going to be the starting quarterback for the Dolphins next season. So y'all get used to it. Y'all can pray on Deshaun. Y'all can make pictures. Y'all can make TikTok videos.
No, Deshaun.
Hey, maybe he's here, but I don't agree he's going to be starting.
He's not going to be here. He's not. I'm telling you now. I said
I'm not talking about Watson. I'm talking about Tua.
Ago.
I think if Tua's here next year, I don't think he's starting. I don't see a way that you can start the kid again.
Tua's going to be the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins next season. You're going to come back to the episode, and you're going to say, Big John said it again.
Big John, real quick. If that happens, and I want to hear a response from you too, EM. If that happens, whose head's on the chopping block, man? Because somebody's on the chopping block, because the way the off-field stuff, and I'm only and on other shows I've talked about this. I only like we play around, have fun and stuff like that. But I try to look at it in a business perspective. This entertainment industry, they've fumbled the use of what Tua brought, and not I can't remember a time when the Dolphins drafted any player, not quarterback, running back, nothing, that brought a massive product with them from college to their team. And so when we as fans are sitting here, we first of all, Tank for Tua exploded in a way that, I mean, listen, I was all, yay, Tank for Tua, but I mean, it was something else, like I didn't see, like we did Suck for Luck, and that was tried, but not like Tank for Tua. It got steam, man. It got real steam. Yeah, and when he got here, the fan base was invigorated in certain ways. So he is a product. Why would they destroy this following, this new amount of things to not continue?
Okay.
And somebody's got to be on the chopping block.
Well, I'm gonna say this first, and then I'm gonna answer your question. I think the biggest mistake the Dolphins did was play Tua in the first season when he wasn't ready to play. Okay.
Yeah.
The reason and I told this to EM the other day, the reason why I think they played him was because you're in a COVID year, you don't have any money coming in the stadium, and regardless of what happens, when you put Tua on the field, everybody had a Tua jersey. My neighbor had a Tua jersey.
Bro, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. That's a business decision right there.
He was number one in jersey sales, but correct me if I'm wrong. Hold on. Correct me if I'm wrong. Jersey sales as a part of the CBA and everything, no matter who it is or what team, the money is split evenly throughout the NFL.
It is.
Well,
it doesn't
but listen, that only adds to what John said. It's good for the NFL business. These guys are literally bro, this is
but how much do you think? How much do you think jersey sales
in a down COVID
line?
Year? In a down COVID year, yeah, but it's not jersey sales. It's eyeballs too, man. He's not wrong. You don't sell a bunch of jerseys to someone who's not being watched.
I can agree with that.
In a new type of fan base in different markets that Miami wasn't getting, and possibly the NFL wasn't getting these eyeballs, because he brought a 2-and-on cult to to the straight up.
He did.
And I don't want to call it a cult. I don't mean to diss him, but I mean I've never seen a following from a college player outside of like
Ian, before you go, let me say two things. You know, at the end of the day, I think, and this is my opinion. You know, like opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Yeah. But to me, I think the reason why Tua gets so much hate, to be honest, is because Tua, you cannot mention the word Jesus Christ or God on the internet in an interview without getting backlash. They did it to Tim Tebow.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree for a long time.
I agree with that.
I agree with that. I agree with that. There is a unwarranted hate for a Christian kid like that. I agree.
Chris has said it
there's
for
hate
a
for
long
a Christian
time.
kid, but there's praise for someone who's accused of what Watson's accused of.
I mean, listen, this is the insanity. This is the insanity we're
right
in
now.
I agree.
It's insanity. Yeah.
However,
but you guys are part of it. You want Deshaun Watson.
We're out here.
Listen. I'll say this.
I don't want Watson. I want Super Bowls for the Dolphins. Continue.
First off, I want to lead play at the position. Deshaun Watson provides that. Tua Tagovailoa doesn't. But I want to address John's comment about why he was, why they put him on the field in 2020. I think there might be some truth to what John is saying, but I can't co-sign that. I think it was purely a football move. Look at what happened. Look what transpired. There was, Tua never beat out Ryan Fitzpatrick. Say what you want about Ryan Fitzpatrick, but he never won a starting job,
He
right?
didn't outplay him.
So they put him in for at week 8, I think, week 9.
Week 5. He started.
Was it week 5?
Against
it was week 9.
It was week 8. So I think
it was the 8th game.
Week 8 was the bye. Week 8 was the bye. Week 9.
It
was after the Jets game. So he came in for the Jets game, got like 3 throws, one to Laird, and then the next week was the bye, and then he started against the Rams. I think it was like week 9.
Yeah, but the reason that went down.
Hang on. Let me finish real quick.
Go ahead.
I think obviously the call came from upstairs. I think they wanted to see what they had on the field because look at what transpired in the offseason. They put him out on the field. He gave them that sample size, and boom, get to the offseason and ready to trade for Deshaun Watson. Listen, I'm gonna share a little nugget. I'm gonna drop a little nugget here. Deshaun Watson has been the apple of the Dolphins' eye since the end of 2019, bro.
Preach.
He has always been the target. It wasn't Tua. It wasn't tanking for Tua. That was a media-driven narrative. They have always been trying. Deshaun Watson, since Brian Flores and Christopher assumed absolute power, Deshaun Watson has always been their target.
Yeah, not to cut you off, but I think that's Ross's apple of his eye. Personally, bro.
Well,
I think it's even beyond.
All three of them.
The deck is stacked against Tua, man. And I think the only pushback that the top half of this, listen, I'm sure there's plenty of people in the organization, and I would imagine there to be, from what I'm hearing from other people. I live in Florida too. I got a couple people I talk to, and I'm hearing there's a lot of support for Tua in the locker room. But really, from the top, that's where it matters. But I also could see that they are getting pushback. And maybe we do end up with a scenario where everyone's still stuck in this dysfunctional marriage next year. And that would be a shame because I would really hope because I mean, listen, I don't know. And I don't want to get conspiracy on this. And I don't want to call it malicious what I've seen, but I do a little bit. Brandon knows me real well, guys. He knows me real well. I don't want to say that it was maliciously done. But this does not look like an offense built for an RPO quarterback, as we all agree. And it doesn't look like the upper management has any designs on keeping an RPO-style quarterback. And it doesn't have any designs that the coach is going to get fired or the GM is going to get fired. I haven't heard anything about the GM. Even there's been some that ship sailed long ago once Waddle and Phillips started showing out. Javon Holland. It really comes down to that first 3 picks of that first round where, and as TD said on his show, as I said again, it looks like they weren't planning on having those 3 picks. And it looks like that first round was an unplanned 3 picks. And
what do you
then
mean they didn't look like they planned for it? They
well,
traded Tunzel. They did everything they knew for years.
TD made the point that they did this trade with full intention of using that and stealing Watson. And then
that's exactly why Xavier Howard was still here. He was supposed to be part of the deal.
Right. He was supposed to be in the deal. That's right. And all this went squirrely and went sideways on him. And probably once the NFL found out that the Dolphins are out here playing sneakiness with the behind here. And listen, they picked them dry. They picked the vultures in, and then they wanted to pick the number one reason they really came there. They took their capital and we're going to use their capital to buy their quarterback. It was an ugly. It was first of all, that's why I love you, Chris Greer. That's a smart fucking play right there. That's my there, boy. That is my right there.
Chris, could I say something, please? I want to say.
Go ahead, Tony.
Tony, I'm leaving. Hang on. I'm just going to say real quick. Y'all watch Drop the Mic on Tuesday. It was a pleasure. EM, Big John, Tony, y'all are amazing. Thanks so much. Yeah, I see y'all later.
Take it easy, brother. Take it easy. Go ahead, Tony. Let's hear it.
Oh, I'm not sure if this is going to be a negative reaction to like the Tua fans, but I think once Tua came here, the Alabama fans that were never Dolphins fans followed him, and that created. Honestly, I feel that created a toxic environment in the Dolphins fan base.
Absolutely. Well, it definitely created a perspective that was never going to be a middle of the road perspective. There's a portion of this fan base that won't listen to the middle ground because, as you can see, guys, I'm pretty all over the place. I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers. That's my dream boat. But I want this damn team to win. I don't give a damn who it is, bro.
I know, right?
But I look at it and I don't see a team that has built around a guy like Tua and built an RPO, because if they did, we probably would have got Najee. Listen, that's my point, and we're not getting the full story, brother. And everybody's saying this, and we're wondering, hey, do we keep the quarterback that, like Big John Stud says, and that I have seen in a lot of ways that can be successful? And us as Dolphin fans, we have wished for a quarterback, Drew Brees, that we missed out on, and this kid can do that, and we know it. But also, we got honeymoon sweetheart with top 5 quarterbacks. It really is a middle of the road that this team put a rift in. They bought into the Tua market, and now they're finding it's hard as shit to get out of it.
I mean, can we really say? I mean, really, let's analyze all the data here. Let's analyze all the data here. When I hear those comparisons about Drew Brees, okay, when you're comparing skill sets, when you're comparing the comparison with Drew Brees ends with size with me, okay? Tua, since Alabama, he has only proven he can be successful in one format. At Alabama, that is carried over to the NFL. He is not proven he can be. He has that type of mental capability like Drew Brees. He hasn't proven that his accuracy is consistent as Drew Brees. He hasn't proven that he can read consistently all 3 levels of the field in a traditional NFL format like Drew Brees. So if Tua has not put that consistently on tape, why is everybody drawing that Drew Brees conclusion? Can somebody explain that to me? Please.
Go ahead, Big John, please. And then Ennis.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. I get where you're coming from, and me and you, we rarely disagree. Rarely, believe it or not. I'm going to ask you a question. To read all levels of defense, you do need to have time to throw the football, right? I don't think Tua has even had time to do that.
Yes, he has.
He has had time. Wait.
He's talking about consistently and not.
Wait.
Go ahead, John.
I'm not talking about he hasn't had time, momentary or gaps in the game for 10 throws where he's had them. In your opinion, he's had enough. In my opinion, he hasn't.
Tua, don't take EM Dolphins fans' word. Tua has said that at his press conferences.
That's
not
fine.
Me.
But at the end of the day, okay.
Yeah, fine. But what is Tua? As much as I bash on Tua, he can't go out on a press conference and say, "Damn, this O-line didn't give me no time."
No,
yeah, they can't say that.
No,
Listen,
no, I could, no.
Yeah, but listen, he broke the lane. Go ahead, John, and then Ennis. I want to hear your thoughts too. Ennis,
give me 1 second. Hold on.
Yeah, John, get it.
Tua sat there. Listen, bro. Tua sat there and called his fucking receiving core last year phenomenal. Okay, there's nothing phenomenal about that shit.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Lynn Bowden's pretty good.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Jr. was on that. I know. I'm busting. I was just making a joke.
Put some respect on the homie Matt Collins name. Respect the homie Matt Collins, baby.
Yeah.
Hold on, bro. They don't play Matt Collins, man. That's not my fault. Listen.
I know. Listen, Devontae Parker got 13 targets last game. That wasn't a good game plan.
There's two things you know about Devontae Parker. One, he pays taxes, and two, he misses 9 games. Okay, that happens every fucking year. Every year. Okay. So let's keep it real.
No.
Ennis, go ahead, brother. I know you've been waiting to get in.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you good, brother. Perfect.
My thing is like I'm not jumping into a conversation. I told y'all earlier I'm done.
Tell us how you feel.
No, but hear me out. Just put yourself in my shoes and feel me where I'm coming from. The quarterback's one of the positions that's important, right?
Yes.
But the other, to me,
the most
is the head coach. So if we have inconsistency, like EM says, from Tua is not being consistent, our head coach hasn't been consistent. So when do we hold him to the regard that we held in the quarterback position to? Because if we want to hold him to that regard, he's failed and Greer's failed. If y'all knew this surgery, he wasn't the same, and y'all picked him anyway. Mm-hmm. So for you to do that, and for us to have to sit here and go through this, because y'all picked this guy, knowing y'all see his evaluation. If him and everybody else can see it, that he's doing it, y'all had to see it. If y'all didn't, y'all still incompetent. So you're incompetent either way. So I'm giving the smoke to Flo, because we've seen this season his inconsistency cost us game. Say it hasn't.
It has.
Well, we not talking about that, but we giving him a 4th year. That's my thing. Like, I'm gonna say it like this. Yeah, feel me on this. When LeBron was in Cleveland, the first when he first got there, he was like, "Man, I'm playing with trash." What he went and did?
He left.
Went to the Heat.
Yeah.
And got better players around him. I'm not comparing Tua to LeBron, but you only as good as your supporting cast. That's in any sport. That's a team sport. I know I'm not saying Tua's balled out. I'm not arguing with y'all on that, because, like I said, I listen to y'all for that advice. But when he's in the kitchen trying to cook, and he's getting all his ingredients from Dollar Tree, y'all want filet mignon from Dollar Tree? Like, let's be real.
I'll say this.
Like, he has shown that he couldn't do certain things, but like Big John is saying, when you cooking with Roman noodles from Dollar Tree and everybody wants your caviar, that's not gonna happen. So that's why I'm over it, because we beating a dead horse over and over again.
I agree. The ingredients. Hold on. I agree. The ingredients are important, but you can give, say, a Gordon Ramsay or Big Billy Bob Thornton sitting at the Waffle House the same ingredients. You're going to get 2 entirely different meals. And when you have a chef that is world class and can cook, you going to taste it. And that's what we're saying.
But hold on. Last point. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Take out Herbert and Burrow, right? These quarterbacks, rookies this year, got 17, about to have 17 starts. Tua's got 21. Put his record against his stats and record against those. We wouldn't be tripping if it wasn't for Burrow and Herbert and Watson. That's my point.
Well, we
wouldn't be tripping at all.
Well, and that's true, Ennis. I'm not necessarily paying attention. I'm not paying attention to Burrow and Herbert, because they're not options for us. Deshaun Watson is.
Yep.
Deshaun Watson is.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
and as far as like Flo, I agree with you 100%. Flo is a developmental coach. This is his 4th year. He'll be going to his 4th year this coming up year, right?
Yeah.
So he's learning.
Sunday.
So he's learning on the fly, just like a developmental player would. But Flo has proven that he can coach a
He's
defense at an
proven that
elite
he's
level.
elite. That's right.
He's proven he can coach an elite defense, right? He's proven up until this year, special teams have been phenomenal the first 2 years, right? So he's got 2/3 of the team already at a championship level. The only thing he has to do is fix the offense. But in regards to your about drafting Tua, Flo never wanted Tua in the first place. So he's got that get out of jail free card in his back pocket. So he has proven he has gotten 2/3 of this team, at a championship level, not good championship. Because I think we can agree that the defense, when healthy,
Andrew,
you give that defense to Aaron Rodgers, to
bro.
Pat Mahomes.
They're going undefeated. They go undefeated.
They're not.
They go undefeated.
Listen,
undefeated.
Andrew, hold on.
Well, what happens when that defense plays a playoff team?
Well, look, real quick. Andrew put in the comments, he goes, Flo won 10 games with 2 bad QBs. And he listen, 1 QB's a journeyman old man that is I don't want to call him flash in the pan because he was a great
was not a bad quarterback, though.
He's not a bad quarterback, guys, and he's not. But as we've seen, he broke his hip in Washington, and that could have been us with him as our quarterback.
It could have been.
But yet we drafted a quarterback with a broken hip. So that is technically 2 bad quarterbacks when you measure the 2 years of possibility we're measuring here.
X also had an all-time season.
That's
and
right.
I believe X won 3. I believe X won 3 games last year for us, and he's already responsible. You can argue about
and who
1, 2, 3.
Make that
nobody can argue.
Happen.
Hold on, nobody can argue X won at least at minimum 1 game for us this season against the Patriots.
That first game
because
I expect him to do it again. I expect him to do it again and get that trade value real good.
And the only other playoff win was against a playoff team was Baltimore. So playoff teams we beat this year was New England and Baltimore.
Has fallen off since that beating, guys.
Thank you. So that helps my argument even more. He hasn't beat a playoff team since he's been here.
It's been the defense, and the defense has been lighting it up. I mean, they looked good. They number 1 in QB hits, number 2 in sacks. Granted, they got torched against Tannehill on that screen, but they kind of got desperate. They kind of got in a situation where if they're
on the field too long.
Well, that's it
too,
EM, but you got to remember
that you're trying to make a play.
That's exactly right, Brandon. That was my point.
You're trying to change the tide.
You're trying to get the ball on this side of the field, and Flo built a defense that could do that, guys. A defense that is fun enough to watch as an offense. We just need this offense to get fun, man. All right,
that
guys,
is the one thing. Defense usually isn't fun to watch. He's made it entertaining.
Listen, I love defense. Honestly, guys, a little background quick. I love Zach Thomas. I will be upset if he don't get in this year. It's been a shame that he is so great. Anyone who watched Zach play live, and
He's just too quiet.
Bro, that's his problem. He doesn't play the politics, and I understand that. But, man, you can't deny no one destroyed offenses single-handedly the way Zach did that I could see. Granted, Ray Lewis and stuff, but watching it in my backyard, being in West Palm, watching him, dude, it was so amazing to see this small guy. I'm not a big dude. Just be everywhere. He was everywhere all over the damn field. He was blowing up everywhere. But we're gonna start closing this up. Been going for about 3 hours.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Brandon's got some stuff. I know Tonk's got stuff. Ennis, I thank you for coming by. EM. EM, guys, please, come by all the time, man. We're always getting it on. I'm gonna work out scheduling. Bro. I appreciate it, EM. You let the other guys know. I watch all their stuff. I try to get on with them as I can. You see me hitting in there every now and again.
Absolutely,
but once I figure out scheduling with this better, hopefully I'll be able to get this thing rocking. We'll be having a real blast around here, man. Because
that's what's up.
Thanks for coming, EM. Listen, I can't thank you guys enough for all the acceptance we have received for the Fins tailgate, and I will reach out to the guys. I want to put some things on, and we're gonna put these panels together all the time because it's the tailgate party. It never stops, man.
Salute, gentlemen. Y'all be good, man.
Ennis, before you go, brother, I want you to make sure to let me know if that hat comes in tomorrow because I got a tracking order on it. But I want to know that you got it. All right, bro.
All right. Yeah, I appreciate it. Appreciate you letting me up. Coach Flo got to go.
Thank you, Ennis, brother. Tonk, listen, everybody, Tonk and Mike on the mic are doing some shows. We do a rotation between my guys. You can't see Brandon. Brandon's the bookie. He gets in. You'll see Tonk more on with Mike on the mic. He gets in on these panels. We love you, Tonk. I'll see you next time, Tonk. Deuces, brother. Brandon.
Yep.
Brandon the bookie.
Don't forget we got a Madden winner too.
Yes, we do. We
got a Madden winner today.
Cully won the Madden today, guys. We gave away Madden, the video game. Over the shows on Brandon the Bookie show with Big Kev, Cash and Tickets, and Oz stopped in and everything like that. They went over all the picks. We're working on trying to get a show out sometime tomorrow. Or no, what did you want to do it, Brandon? Sunday is what you wanted to do? Something early Sunday to go for the NFL picks?
Yes, Sunday would probably be best.
Keep your eyes out. We're still working on scheduling. Brandon wants to get you guys the best bets at the best time. Hopefully, before it's too late. You know what I'm saying? But Cash and Tickets with Brandon the Bookie, Big Kev, and Oz is going to be dropping in. Good perspectives. We'll be putting together a very good panel. Take it easy, Brandon. We'll be putting together a pretty good panel of guys for picking games, everything like that. Mike on the mic's got some baseball coming. I'm not a big baseball fan, but I haven't had much to root for. But the Marlins are spending money, and as anyone knows who's down here in South Florida, things be looking up around here. It's got a different buzz. I know we're at each other's throats with the Tua stuff, as you guys can see, man. At the Fins tailgate, the tailgate party that never stops. We have fun. It's a tailgate party. You can, there's a little drinking going on, but there's still kids running around. So although in the circle, we can talk some shit and we can, let our hair down and maybe might poke some fun, we'll always do our best to try to not, offend anyone. And anyone who does get offended, allow them a chance to grow past what they've offended you at. Maybe there's some perspectives that need to be changed. Maybe there's some things that people need some growing with. But we're all about having the good time out here on the Fins tailgate. I'm so happy all you guys came in here, and I appreciate the love, guys. And we'll see you next time on the Fins tailgate. Keep an eye out. We got Cash and Tickets with Brandon the Bookie. Drop the mic with Mike on the mic. All my boys are here to have a good time, and I don't know, guys. Fins up, I guess. I mean, this is tailgate party. It never stops.